Hello, 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 and thank you for joining me, STST, today for a little chat with LimeyPlay. I have a new series going out weekly at 8:45 Thursdays GMT, England, Angleterre, and I would love it if you would come and join me. So thank you all that we have in the chat so far. Please, if you have not already, give the like a little tickle. If you're watching afterwards, do so as well. It helps Mr. Algorithm share the message that we have fun on this channel, and that we do. Last week, I had Mr. Jones 1972, and we had a good giggle. And as I state, this is the second episode of Conspiracy Talk. Other guests I've got lined up, apart from tonight's guest, LimeyPlay, is Conspiracy Cats and FTFE. It's open to all. So the premise of the show really is I have a guest on, we have a chat, half an hour, 45 minutes, and then we open up. If you notice, there is a stream link in the description of the video. So if you would like to join, if you have any conspiracies, flat earth, or anything you want to chat about, stupid things you believed as a child, as a teenager, or things that you snapped out of as an adult. Most of us have been there, just maybe not flat earth as such, shall we say. We have some absolute brilliant people in the chat, so thank you all for coming here. Sable Eagle, LimeyPlay, hello buddy. Dr. Osiris, Charlie Welchy Poo, Chris Witt 66, Dr. Osiris, you're not here twice. I'm reading your name twice. Martin H, Mighty Possum. I hope that you enjoy this week as much as well. I know earlier you said you hadn't had a good day. Let's hope that we can turn that around with a little bit of chitter chatter. Flurfspective, hello mate, always good to see you. Like I say, we're going to have the guest for a little while, and then the link will be opened to have guests join as well. So we're aiming for around an hour and a half stream, although last week's ended up as 2 hours and 10 minutes. So we just never know. But let's get into it. Let's get this week's guest on, and we have Mr. LimeyPlay. So I'm about to add you to the stream now.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm great, mate. How you doing? You all right?
Very well, thank you. Very well indeed, mate.
Cheers.
Yes. Cheers. Chin chin. So it's kind of Drinks with STST continued, but just with a different title. But but we try and talk about other things other than just flat earth. Me personally being an ex-conspiracy theorist, basically what I'm realizing now is you just believe the lot. A conspiracy theorist is going to call a realist a sheep, but they're going to be the sheep.
I think when you're in that mindset, you're going to go for most of them. Like a big part of my mental health issues, like when I'm not medicated and all that, is like extreme paranoia. And I never went the flat earth route, but there was definitely times where, I didn't trust the moon landings. It's sad to say that, like, when I'm in like a full part of my mental issues, before I got medicated, I even not so much lizard people, but I didn't think that certain people were real people, and that's why. And I know it's not.
What do you mean by that?
Trying to put a finger on why people go for conspiracy theories, but you can't label it as just one thing, can you? You've got, like with me, it was more mental health. Like with you, I imagine it. It was really just seeking the truth, but not knowing where to look. With some, it's that feeling of isolation, and maybe distrust of the government, and it pushes them towards a community or something. There's so many reasons, isn't there, to go for them?
I think it is a lot of it is the kind of coming from the hatred towards government and leadership, if you know what I mean. But
Oh, definitely.
you know, not everyone is happy with the way the government sort of runs the countries of the worlds they live in, the countries they live in, but they don't all end up being flat earthers, do they? If you know what I mean. But like,
but it's you know, it's tempting to go all full on conspiracy theories. And you got people like Trump when he was in, and we've got Boris, who just you know, what a prick, you know. So I mean, yeah, like, but like you say, it's I think, you know, and the reason, like, you know, people like you and Ranty came back to reality was because it, you know, you guys weren't, I don't think, you know, you didn't go into it because of like those other reasons. It was just that it was looking for knowledge, and sadly, you know, just taking a bit of a detour, you know.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
you've
well,
got the ones like Sleeping Warrior. I don't think he will ever leave Flat Earth because he's got too much invested in it. You know, it's a part of who he is now. You know,
it is a strange one which I struggle with because, you know, clearly both me and Ranty both got more attention by leaving Flat Earth than joining it. So I can't make out why any kind of flat earthers that were kind of grifters and maybe trying to make a bit of money, if they did it the right way, I can't see why they don't think, hang on a minute, I'm going to, you know, actually leave and actually get more exposure, if you know what I mean. So it kind of makes me think the ones that are staying, they are more genuine believers, you know. I think a lot of the kind
maybe
of
besides Oakley. But yeah, no, I know what you mean though. Like, you know, I often joke with that. I should have come out. I should have started my channel as a flat earther and then moved on from there, because flat earthers they get a lot of growth right at the beginning, because there's so many, especially with, you know, you got the lager lurgy kicking around. You've got like right now we are primed for conspiracy theorists, aren't we? You know, it's just it's a melting pot of scientific misunderstanding, and I don't know, people that just don't trust anyone enough to. But then, you know, I don't understand that either. Is you know, they don't trust the scientists. They don't trust their teachers from school. You know, like anywhere that teaches the proper fundamentals of reality.
Yeah.
Yet they trust all of these people in the conspiracy theory to teach them. You know, like, and I can't wrap my head around that. You know,
it's
I
because
don't
they're telling
understand
what
it.
they want to hear, and you know, it's because they're telling them what they want to hear. It's as simple as that, and it's kind of their mind is just funneled down, and suddenly, you know, I can only trust what these guys are saying. Yeah, I mean, what do you think about the terrible stuff going around at the minute with I think it was Fluspective that brought up in his community page, but how that Jake the asshole is now trying to make out like that
Rob Skeever and is it Mac Paha aren't actually dead or something? Yeah. I only just heard about that from you earlier today. I haven't had any time to catch up on YouTube stuff this week, like, because I've been struggling with creating that video that I released earlier. But yeah, it's sickening, you know, because there was already you know, I watched, after watching, you know, Ranty Perspective did a very heartfelt video about it, and it is terribly sad, you know, especially, and you know, he linked a video and I went and watched that, and I never really knew much about Mac Paha. I think I'd seen him once or twice, maybe on debates. I'd never watched any of his content. But yeah, just the, you know, I mean, you can tell he's very ill, and he'd already been arrested, I believe, last year for breaking quarantine.
Yeah, I mean, it's all over the news in America.
Yeah.
Well, not all over the news, but like they're obviously their local news.
He's talking about going to the sauna, isn't he, to sweat it out, going to a public place with no mask, unvaccinated. Like, you know, these people, I mean, yeah, maybe they don't believe in the pandemic, but why would you take that chance? And why Like, to me, it just seems like they're all selfish. You know, why not think about other people and think, you know what, just in case, like me, I rarely ever leave the house. I'm not really worried about catching it. But damn right I got vaccinated, because you never know. And occasionally I'll see like relatives and stuff. And I don't want to be the reason that other people get sick. You know?
Yeah, I had someone on my Facebook actually earlier, and she's been like a real anti-vaxxer, sort of lives local to me, and I have these sort of back and forths with her, and her kind of Facebook status today was like, what was it? Damn, the Rona's finally got me. My damn vaccinated grandparents came round today. Came round last week, coughing and splutting everywhere. Thanks, Grandad, I've now got Rona. So I was thinking, so you've suddenly accepted us real. Like, at least there's that part. But I kind of commented and said, well, it's a good job your grandparents were actually vaccinated. Because they had much more likely chance to have been able to be coughing in your kitchen, and like B, you're probably going to get less sick for the fact that they were vaccinated. Do you know what I mean? So the vaccine doesn't stop you catching it, but it gives you a much better chance of fighting it. But if they had got it and they were coughing it about, they might spread less of the virus around. But if that person got sick from it and they're unvaccinated, I don't think I think they're going to get just as sick. There's never been enough good information come from the government. Like, I really think there should have been like a 2-hour special put out that all the radio stations are bringing up and just saying, look, this is the you know what I mean? It's just always little snippets in the news, and words get twisted, and I really wish they just been if it was actually communicated better on why people should be vaccinated, and actually bring it up, go on bloody talk shows, a government representative go on to bloody, I don't know, some Saturday night talk show, and actually.
But then sometimes that doesn't help. You've got what's that? Who's that? The United States Health and Human Services Administrator, or something? Javier Becerra, I think his name is. He did that. He went to Kentucky to speak out, and a lot of flat earthers are talking about it. And even Jake the fucking a-hole, did a video thing because he linked flat earthers to anti-vaxxers, and he said, like the world is round, and then he said, welcome to the Delta variant, because that's the thing, we get these vaccines that have a better chance of fighting it. All these people that don't take it and start spreading it around, they give it a chance to mutate, and then suddenly we're back to a variant that the vaccines can't fight. And that's why now they're having to roll out booster jabs, and they're going to have to come out with a whole new vaccine at some point. If everyone had followed like all the lockdown, and if the government had locked stuff down sooner, I know our government just they really dropped the ball on that, didn't they? But if they'd started lockdown sooner, if they'd been more strict on masks, and I really don't think we would have lost so many people. It's ridiculous. I haven't checked it in a long time, like maybe a month or so. But I'm sure we were at about 4.5 million worldwide.
I mean, the numbers though at the minute. The numbers in the UK are like really high infection wise, but there's nowhere near as many people dying. So what does that tell you?
Such a high vaccination rate. So it's a lot better fighting it off. We've passed 5 million deaths worldwide now.
Bloody hell!
That's 5. Yeah. Like all these people as well that said, you've only got a 1%. Or 1.7% chance of dying. A single death, if it can be avoided, is too many, and we've had over 5 million of them.
I have a thought, really. Like, say, imagine just putting yourself in a room with 100 people. I know the odds are, like you say, 1 in 100, but You
Well,
wouldn't want to
it's a bit
stand in that
worse than
room and
that, but
somebody
yeah,
sort of, you wouldn't want to stand in that room and somebody say like,
one of
literally
you has
today,
to die.
one of you has to die,
Yeah.
and then you look around and you'll be like, what? There's only 100 of us. What the fuck? Like, do you know what I mean? And like, I think people don't visualize like 1 in 100's a really high number, when you're talking about like
When you're
billions of
talking
people.
about worldwide, yeah, like that equates to a lot of fucking people, I
Yeah.
mean, like, yeah, it over 5 million deaths from it. It's hard to fathom, isn't it?
Mm.
You give anyone like a quid per death and they're set for life, like that's how many people we're talking. Or fuck, I mean, isn't that close to, what's the population of the UK again? I thought it was like 7 or something.
78 million.
Oh, okay, it's like 67. All right, so
What is it?
67.22 million as of 2020. Obviously we've lost some, but yeah, so I don't know, what, 8%? I can't really do maths in my head when I'm drinking Guinness, but like, so if all of those deaths were in the UK, I think it's 5.07 million. Oh fuck, I can't type today.
By his reasoning, we should all stay in bed. Apparently,
It'd be like
Gary
7.5%. If every death was in the UK, that'd be 7.5% of our population. So I mean, it's a massive number. What's Wybanger saying, Mr. Why Bother? What did he say? His reasoning, we should all stay by his reasoning. No, I'm not saying that, Gary. I'm just saying, you social distance. You wear a mask. The mask doesn't so much protect you as it protects everyone else. Like right now, we don't have to wear masks in the UK. But damn right, I'm fucking wearing one every time I go out and I'm close to people because I'm not a fucking cunt.
Yeah. Well, look, I say I'm literally doing like the actual testing as a job at the minute, dude. So
nice.
I'm sort of, you say nice, but
it's part of the positive
really
to try
involved.
and make a change with this,
know?
So you're really helping the effort. I'm sure it's gotta suck, like if you if you have to fucking, like, if you find out someone's negative. I mean, I don't know, are you the person that has to fucking contact people and let them know, or
no? I mean, I'm literally like,
that'd be
hard. We sort of pass people tests like through their car windows and things, and but they'll have to say to people like, I'm not a health professional. They'll start asking me for medical advice and, what do you think I should do? And I'm just like, look, I am not a medical professional in any way. I can't give you any type of advice. Just, it's just great that you have come here for your test today, and it is. I mean, it's just, even now, I think, I've definitely kind of seen people that, weeks later not being funny, they might not be with us, and that is quite a stress, seeing, especially the elderly when they come up, they'll turn up in their car and they look terrified, they're literally thinking, not being funny, is this it? And
it's a scary fucking thing, isn't it? I mean,
it's the only job I've had though, where I kind of,
family. Sorry?
Yeah. No, I was going to say it's the only job I've had where, in a way, I want it to end very quickly, if you know what I mean. Like, and that's so silly, because I'd be silly to be like, oh yeah, I want it to carry on, because that's what nobody wants. But yeah, I do feel really good feeling like I'm helping out and being kind of like a part of it. But that is literally on the front line. But I'm gloved up, I'm masked up. I'm tested myself every day, and I think like that shows you what PPE does, is because like our whole team has never, one of us has never caught COVID, if you know what I mean. And we are within, we actually have to get closer than 2 meters a lot of the time.
You got to be close enough to pass it. So you're well within.
In a way, we're actually in the safest place to be, not being funny, because of the precaution.
Yeah,
Do you know
yeah.
what
I
I mean?
mean, at
Like, and I was
least then
a
you
bit
get
worried
tested
at
every
first.
day. That's awesome, you know.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah,
But
it's
enough
hard.
about
I've been
that.
fortunate enough not to lose any family members. We've lost a
Mm,
couple of close friends. My one of my cousins, both her kids caught it, and you know that was like my sort of first experience with long COVID. You know, I mean, for months after, you know, these like, you know, both, you know, she's got a boy and a girl, and you could just tell like they the COVID stage had sort of passed, but the leftover in it, because it's a full-on very nasty respiratory infection,
mm,
and yeah, it takes a long time to bounce back, and you know there are permanent ramifications sometimes as well. You know, it does a nasty job on your body,
mm.
really, you
Yeah,
know.
like long
Yeah,
COVID and stuff. Mate. Like I have seen people where they're debilitated now. They've
mm,
been left disabled because of it. You
yeah,
know, and I don't think that happens with, say, flu that often. You know, I'm sure there are
no,
cases where
no.
it is debilitating, but it's the long term effects and
Mhm.
the way it will actually physically alter people's lives for the rest of their lives. It seems at the minute, you know, like
Yeah.
um,
See, and
lots of
that's
other
one of the
things.
things, you know, like being an ex-flat Earth, you know, being that you were deep in these conspiracies. So my thought is, you know, when you've got people like Jake and that, or, you know, I mean, well, he's saying that they're not dead, but then you've got like people saying that the hospital killed Rob Skiba and all this other stuff, and it's just fucking it's horrible shit.
Mm, yeah.
Do you think that that is born from a place of fear? Do you think that they are desperately trying to convince themselves that there's no pandemic because of how scared they are?
Mm,
You know, like is that?
yeah. That's a good point, actually, because somebody said to me the other day, like, "Oh, you know, you indoctrinated, vaccinated sheep. You live your whole life in fear." And I said, "Actually, it's you that lives your life in fear. If you know
Yeah,
what I mean, you're the one that fears the government. You fear the doctors. You fear the vaccination." I was like, "So no, mate. I am actually not fearful at all because I know I'm taking the precautions necessary to actually still try and lead as much of a normal life as possible.
yeah,
So
exactly.
you're the one living in fear. You know, it's as simple as that."
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's denial, isn't it? It is complete denial
Mm,
of just they can't go back. You know, they literally. I think especially when lives are at stake. You know, lives aren't really at stake with flat Earth, are
mm,
they? But you know, the belief in um, COVID denial and actually promoting that,
mm.
they've got literally blood on their hands.
Yeah.
You know, like
Can I just
their
say
words
that
may have killed someone.
so yeah, like Flat Earth peer review, FE peer review, you know, he agrees it's mostly motivated by spear. So does Tusk. Gary Wabenga, before it got deleted, be my guest, breathe in all your carbon dioxide and all the bacteria festering in your mask. First off, Gary, those
I'll be back in
masks,
1 minute.
they're pretty fucking thin. I've worn one all day before, and I don't have the best lung capacity or health at the moment, and I was fine. No lightheadedness, no nothing. In fact, the levels of carbon dioxide you're breathing in are basically the same as without a mask. It's just reducing the amount of virus you could be breathing in. As far as bacteria that you're rebreathing in, that's just stuff that was in your breath anyway. It's not, you know, your body already knows how to expel it or deal with it. It's not that big a deal. Again, the point of the mask, Gary, is in case you have it, you don't pass it on to anyone else. This is why if you don't wear a mask, you're a prick. It's that
Mm.
simple. That simple.
Gary, you must have a really tiny lungs if you can't breathe in more than 5 minutes.
Yes. Love it.
It's so true.
Fucking
Like
love
maybe
it.
you should go jogging, Gary. You know, I literally wear one of those for 6 hours a day, and
Mm.
you know, I'm still breathing fine.
Right.
So you
Exactly.
can't say
And like me, you've got smoker's lungs. So, you know,
that.
it
And I
shows
can
that
still
masks
breathe.
aren't that bad. Gary, why breathe? Oh dear.
Oh,
That is
Gary.
brilliant. That is brilliant.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, plus
oxygen
there's
to
so
live
many
anyway.
cool fashionable choices now. I've got a bright yellow one with a smiley face on it. I fucking love it. You know, I mean, there's some cool masks out there. So yeah, fucking. To be fair, even when COVID dies down, I'm gonna be wearing one for a long time. You know, I like going out ninjaed up and all that, looking
Yeah.
like I'm about to rob the fucking place. And then plus, I normally get flu every year, jab or not, you know, and like the last 2 times I had flu, like I got really sick, and I had like double bronchial pneumonia. It was nasty, you know. I've almost died twice because of flu. So, you know, this is why I jumped on the vaccinations. But because of wearing a mask and all that, and yeah, I don't go out as much, but that still never stopped me getting the flu before. Last year, last winter, or well, early this year, late last year, first time in ages that I haven't caught like the fucking flu, you know. So yeah, masks work. It's fucking simple science, really.
Although I have had a nasty cold recently, and I love how, you know, a lot of people just say like, oh, the flu has just been turned into COVID, and you know,
yeah, no, it's
colds and
completely
flus
different.
have disappeared. Yes, there's definitely less about because of mask wearing, but you know, I've recently had a really, you know, quite a bad cold. But it was just a cold, you know, and the amount of COVID tests I had in that time, and they were always negative, you know, and that was kind of confirming to my head, like, oh, okay, you know, this conspiracy of like people thinking that it's just been switched over, you know. So even if you've got the flu, it's going to test positive for COVID, and that just isn't true. You know, it's just not true at all.
No, yeah, it's I don't know, the fucking they're idiots. But then, and this is the, you know, I wouldn't wish death by COVID on any of them.
No,
but they are setting themselves up for it, you know. And it's not just them. Like in a way, you know, they're almost taking their own lives, the ones that do go, because they're ignoring the science. They're being selfish, not thinking about protecting their loved ones as well as themselves. And sometimes it catches up with them, you know. And just how many people need to die of COVID? How many anti-vaxxers, anti-maskers need to die of COVID before, you know, all the other anti-vaxxers just snap the fuck out of it, you know?
But then every time someone does die, that then turns into a conspiracy. You know, doesn't it? They're not dead. They were Freemasons.
That's what we were talking about earlier, isn't it? We were talking about conspiracies within the conspiracy movement, right? Like, because I know I saw a one Eric Debay video where he was saying like Mark Sargent was Illuminati because when he held up his little spongy globe, it happened to cover one of his eyes. What was the one you told me that isn't Jake the arsehole saying that Skiba and Paha are like 33rd level fucking Freemasons?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's just ridiculous.
Right.
I mean, they're now looking into like the numerology, and you know, like, you know, we've got no evidence that they're still alive, so we're just going to look at like a video and, you know, basically anything that we can extract from that as evidence that you are a Freemason, or, you know, they might see the number 33 somewhere, and, you know, and
someone
suddenly
did one of them cool little handshakes. Yeah. But and see, this is the thing. This is the same as like, you know, like fucking Failzoid. He put up another, you know, he did a couple videos with, you know, bringing back up the whole Challenger thing, you know, and the people that look, well, you know, saying they're still alive. This is the same as all these videos and all these comments that are saying that, you know, they're not really dead or the hospital killed, you know, not taking how they died seriously. That is cruel as fuck on their loved ones, isn't it?
It's so inhumane.
Yeah,
they've got no empathy.
Fucking disgusting, you know.
That's a huge trait, actually, isn't it? It's just they've
Yeah,
got
personally, like, I mean, it's times like that, and I try to live a very peaceful life, but it kind of makes me want to start taking flat earthers out to pasture. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Treat them
It is
like
bad.
old Yeller. So, I don't know.
That is so funny. Did you hear about like recently?
It's all of this stuff and all of the anger that I'm starting to feel from them is the whole reason that LimeyPlay is rebranding and will be coming out as a whole new channel next week.
Really?
Yes. I have had consultations. I've had consultations with, you know, like discussed channel options, and hence the new picture that you can, you can see when I do a chat or whatever. I've decided, you know, like, because and I have to give a massive shout out to Flirspective, because, you know, I've been chatting with him, bouncing ideas, and most of the good ones have come from him, to be fair, about, you know, what I want to do with my channel, because I want to get a bit away from flat earth. And we were talking about, you know, how like flat earthers and all that, they always try to trigger people, and I am very easily triggered. And so he said, why not embrace that? You know, why not be triggered all the time? So the Triggered Limey is going to be debuting next week, and there is going to be a lot of anger. Yeah, it's exciting times. It's exciting times. And the first object of my fucking, you know,
so it's going to be not about flat earth, but like normal life situation.
It'll still be a fucking flat earther. It's going to be more COVID related, but I'm going after Jake the arsehole next.
Do it.
But yes, I've got Flirspective to thank for some awesome ideas. I've got Broman Legion to thank for giving me a free copy of Sony Vegas Pro 18, which, you know, buying that myself would cost, depending on the package, between 250 and 600 quid. And he gave me a free copy of that. If anyone hasn't checked out his channel, he's fucking hilarious. Brilliant.
He is brilliant.
Yeah.
He's someone that really actually deserves, you know, it's a cliche and they deserve more subscribers than they've got. But actually he does, if you know what I mean. Like, he's
great. He's been trying to, you know, help me a bit on my editing techniques. It's been a lot of work, and I've been struggling to get content out on time because of how much I've been trying to learn. Like, I was just starting to get into the courses on DaVinci Resolve, and now I've been given a new software. So, you know, at some point I might even just take a week off, or I think my next few videos are going to be quite simple editing stuff I can knock out in a day or two, so I can focus the rest of the week on learning this software. And then I want to start coming out hard and fast, like, I don't know, 3 videos a week, maybe every couple of days. Because, I've
got an idea for, like, if you ever did like a Saturday live stream, you could call it like the Sour Lime Saturdays.
Yeah, it could. Sour with lime. I like it, dude. Sour with limey. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I think say here that the Triggered Limey is better than LimeyPlay. I mean,
oh yeah, definitely.
With the Triggered Limey, at least it means something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know what
So
I mean?
LimeyPlay started off because it was going to be a gaming channel, and then I couldn't get the capture stuff to work. The original laptop I had when I started was like a 200-pound Lenovo SlimPad. It was nowhere near good enough for gaming. And you know, so I started this channel, couldn't do what I needed or was originally going to with it. And it was a couple months prior, you know, I'd sort of been Angel Gamer, you saucy minx. Love her. She's fucking awesome.
Love your Angel.
So you know, I was watching a lot of, I don't even know how I got into it. I just think I got recommended a Simon Dan video, or it was on the homepage. And then you know how it is, like YouTube tries to learn what you're watching. So suddenly I'm getting, like, it was him, and then I think I got Conspiracy Cats, then Team Skeptic, FTFE, then you popped up, and you know, and I started watching a lot of that. And you know, it deeply offends me when people spread scientific misinformation, even when it's not the most dangerous stuff. But a lot of it right now is very dangerous, you know, and these people, you know, they're basically putting other people's lives in their hands, you know. So that's basically what started the channel, and I didn't change the name, but
I think now's the
now
time
it's
to do it,
it's time to rebrand. And you know, like my my whole, so like my mental, like I have emotionally unstable personality disorder. This is why I get hyped up a lot or get depressed sometimes. Like, I don't have any control over my emotions, and they turn themselves on for any reason at all, you know. So just part of why I think, you know, I'm so easily triggered. And like Ranty's idea of just, you know what, just fucking embrace it and start doing videos on what it is that is angering you at the time. Right now, it's fucking Jake the arsehole and people like him saying all this bollocks, you know, because it's just fucking wrong.
I think where was it? Yeah, like Triggered Limey is a brand, because actually when I saw your new avatar, I was like, oh, I can literally like see that on a t-shirt or like a baseball cap. You know what I mean? Like that has, I think that has now
t-shirts will be coming soon. I think I'm gonna save up. I was pricing up with people that, you know, draw proper stuff, because obviously I can't draw very well. I knocked that thing up in Photoshop or Paint 3D. I can't even remember. It was only a couple of days ago. But you know, just trying to copy ideas off of the internet and stuff. And I think it looks all right. But if you blew it up to picture size, maybe not so much. But right now, it would probably take 2 or 3 months of what I earn on Patreon to try and get it done properly. So, but I think merch will come eventually. Even if people don't buy it, I would like to get some merch so that I can rock my brand.
To keep us like memorabilia.
You know, this is a journey. You know, you know, I get to talk to fantastic people every day. I learn a lot as well. You know, like not just with the editing stuff and talking tactics with people, but you know, you've got people like I Can Science That, AB Science, FE Peer Review, S Thurston 2. Tiny Captain, Doctor, sorry, like there's loads of people in our community that teach me, you know, like they see what I'm doing, and a lot of it, you know, I've got some knowledge, but a lot of the stuff I have to do, I don't remember a lot of it anymore, so I have to reteach myself. And you know, they see bits that I might have missed or not explained as well as I could, and you know, they pull me up on it. And it's great because I'm learning so much. I love it. Every day I'm learning something new. You know,
it's one of those only things where, like, say for me, feels quite strange because, like, imagine, you know, someone that usually says, "Oh, I've got subscribers" or people that follow me, they, you know, must obviously look up to them as such, or I don't know, like, think they're going to learn a lot from them. So it kind of humbles me.
I look up to my subs.
That's what I mean. Like it's the other way round, because when I see them and I realise what they actually do, I'm like, what on earth? Like, why the hell are you watching me? Like, but no, I'm only joking. Like, I'm you know, I just love the fact that
I know what you mean, though. Like, because there's
some
a
intelligent
lot
boys
better content creators out there than me. You know, like I think. You know, like I love watching your stuff. I'm waiting for another part of history to fucking come out. It feels like it's been forever.
It's been so long.
But yeah, you know, like, and when I do, like, I try to set like a couple hours at least, like on one day every week, to try and catch up on some of the YouTube videos, because you know, I've got my ones that I love to watch, you know, and you know, like mention like FE peer review again. Flirtspective is always fucking hilarious, but like as far as learning knowledge, like FE peer review, Loki Fish Mars, he helped me a hell of a lot when I was trying to learn celestial navigation from scratch. Bob the Science Guy, you know, there's a lot of amazingly smart people out there, and you know, it's weird because I say in a lot of videos how flat earthers shouldn't just try and learn online and on YouTube, but a lot of my learning is from that, but I trust the sources. What did FE peer review say? I missed it. Sometimes I think that too. What the fuck did I do? I really did all that stuff. Damn, I'm hot. Brilliant. Fucking brilliant.
You're so hot right now, FE peer review. You're so hot. Have you got a device on at all or something, Limey? Because there's a bit of an echo, I believe. I don't know. It might be me.
From my speakers. Is it voice echo, or because I've got my laptop fan on as well?
I think it's just my voice. Let's have a look.
All right, I'll turn my speakers down a bit.
No, it's gone. It's gone.
Yeah. All right.
I believe.
All right. Yeah, it could be because I don't have a headset at the moment with a mic, so I have to use the speakers. Liam Wakefield. Yes, I will definitely check. Monarch 24. I will see. Like I say, I can't afford anyone to design me a logo at the moment, but eventually, definitely will. Let me just type that in so I don't forget it.
Do you know what foreskinning is, Limey? There is still
is it removing? You know when and it's a Jewish phrase, isn't it? You know, when they call someone a schmuck. That's what they call the bit when they get circumcised, when that bit of foreskin that's removed. That is what a schmuck is, and I didn't know that till last year.
Bloody hell, that's crazy. A schmuck. That is. I mean, that's pretty. I've never really heard that before. Perspective.
Ultimate good to see you. Hand him to him. Can I ask Lee?
Absolute legends. Sorry, Limey. Let me just.
Can you Discord me that person, because I can't find them on YouTube? Oh, good question. So have you not built your PC yet?
Not yet, dude. Not yet. I'm literally all I need is the PSU. No, it's because I'm not quite there. I need the PSU, the power supply unit, and a microphone. And I'm there. A unit. Yeah. So
that's a great word, isn't it? Unit. There are certain words I love. Unit is one. Moist is another. Cunt is one. And chagrin. Chagrin is just it's a fantastic word. You know? Chagrin. And you can roll them together. Much to the Flurf's chagrin, his unit was not moist. You know, the English language is a wonderful thing.
It is brilliant. It is a brilliant language. Is there we'll open it up. Shall we open up to guests?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
See if anyone wants to come and join the fun and laughter.
On Instagram, Liam. All right, awesome. Thank you.
I think the
Limey Tourette's, yeah. You know, it's that time of the evening, Flurfspective. I have to take my meds before the stream starts. They're due at 9. Then the Guinness. Then this funny arsehole. He cracks me up. You know. Oh,
it's all fun and games. It's all fun and games. I think it must be your your stream might be lagging a little bit every now and again. But it's just funny.
I love you. I had really good. You, buddy. Yeah, love you too, mate. I had really good speeds at first. Let me double check again.
Yeah. No, I think you're all right.
But yeah, while I'm sorting my system out, if you wanna, I don't know. Are there any guests waiting to come on? I'm sure Ranty will come on disguised as someone's name.
Oh my God. Yeah. It might even be him now. It might even be him now. Who knows? But the guest that is there,
Yeah,
I'm about to
could
add
be.
you. So prepare yourself, Ranty. It's a good disguise this time. How's it going, Ranty?
That's my
Andy, how
claim
are
to
you, mate?
fame, being on the same live stream as Ranty.
I think we're about to have another guest. So we've got Noah. So I'll just add you as well, buddy. And then we will say hello
Noah!
to you both. Hello, Noah.
Hello.
Good to see you, mate. Good to
How
see you.
both
So,
doing?
No,
yeah, Andy, mate, what
Good
made
evening.
you click? Have you got any conspiracies you'd like to share with us or anything?
well, not really. No, you've well, Limey's gone over everything that I object to, really, conspiracy-wise. The vaccine thing particularly gets on my nerves when you hear these people. I mean, I listen to Five Live at work quite a lot on the radio, and I was doing a debate yesterday about it, and all of these health workers have got to get be fully vaxxed, otherwise they're going to lose their jobs. And there's actually people still, in that profession won't get the vaccine, and I just don't get it. It's beyond me. They're medical professionals, and they still doubt whether the
And they
vaccine.
still don't trust their own profession.
Well, exactly.
Yeah, but then they're a medical professional though, but I suppose they're still not like a virologist, or they haven't studied vaccines, so they could be an X-ray, someone that takes X-rays and just have no idea really actually about those specifics, and again their previous thoughts, or do you know what I mean? I think that might be it. Really, is like.
Well, this person was saying because she's had COVID. She had COVID last year, I think she was saying, and she's still getting. She's having. I don't know if this is a thing you can do. Is have antibody tests to see if you've still got the COVID antibodies within your system. But she was saying that the reason she's not going to get the vaccine is because she's still getting positive antibody tests, and she'll get the vaccine once those positive tests become negative.
Yeah, see, that's again they test for antibodies, but when there's a new variant, unless she had, and to be fair, there's probably a variant that hasn't even hit hard yet. We've got Delta, but there could be a new one festering as well. But unless she had the Delta variant, there's no reason not to get fucking vaccinated. If anything, then you've got the vaccine, and you've got the vaccine antibodies and the antibodies from having COVID. You're going to be pretty fucking safe, hopefully.
That's exactly what I was, it's my thinking all along.
Let's
just get the jab anyway. What, you've got nothing to lose.
Sorry, guys. Let's just have a quick hello to Noah, and then we have got another guest as well. So I'm gonna let him jump in. So Noah, mate, how are you?
I'm good. I was just going to say there on that topic, one of the things that is actually could be impacting the medical professionals doing the vaccine is nurses past the last, I think, 15 years. They didn't actually have to do a university level education. It was a vocational course. So a lot of them wouldn't have had the science background. They would have had they would have been taught the care aspect of nursing.
It was basically just the job, not the training.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it was
Did any of that happen during COVID? Because I know they were screaming for healthcare professionals, weren't they?
I think they rushed some third year nursing students out of the course.
They still have a bit of a background.
Yeah, I mean, they've done full university education. It's pre 15, 20 years ago. They didn't have university level courses. It was you went in and were trained up as a nurse. In a vocational course, you'd go and do be an electrician today.
You learned how to wipe an arse and had to take the job because your dole was going to get stopped. Yep, I understand.
I mean, in a lot of cases. But yeah, it was that was the kind of thing. It was all about nursing as a vocation rather than as a career where you go to university and everything. And I mean, objectively, university education is better when it comes to that because they get the full science, and I'm sure most younger nurses probably are much more likely to be getting the vaccine because they've had that. But I think that's where a lot of that issue is sitting.
I think a lot of it too is coming from, you know, social media, as awesome as it is just, it's terrible because it makes it so easy to spread this misinformation, doesn't it? You know, and if you've got people with just a little bit of doubt on their minds, then they just lap it up.
I heard a saying like, it was kind of like, thank goodness the Greeks didn't have Facebook, like, you know, because like in a way the conspiracies could start and like, you know, whereas at that time actually the only real information that was well, you know, I know there's probably a lot of false information, but you know, from the sciences, especially, you know, it was kind of like this knowledge did start to spread kind of far and wide, but it was the truth, wasn't it? You know, when Eratosthenes did his experiments and, you know, other things like that.
That's
but
where that saying came from. That's where the saying came from. Beware of Greeks bearing Facebook requests. You know, it's classic one.
I'm going to add our other guest, Mike Cunt. Welcome to the stream.
Well played.
Good evening, Mike.
Oh,
how's it going, Mike?
Oh God!
He seems to be hiding from us.
Yeah. Might be on the loo. Might be on the loo or something.
With a name like that, it's probably best his mic's turned off. Ranty, how are you?
Has anyone seen Mike Hunt?
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
I just love that you take it there, dude. Like, you know, we need this comedy to carry on, like the British humour like that.
Where's Craven Moordick when we need him? You know, there's some great names in our community, isn't there? You know, really is.
How have you been, Mike?
I love it. It's making me cry. Thank you, Mike, for this gift.
I have literally got tears in my eyes.
It's great. Yeah,
Please tell me you've got Ivor Biggin lined up as well.
Ivor Biggin. Oh yeah. Oh, that was a classic.
Lined up as well. Yeah. That's multiple layers there. That was good.
We've got Amanda Love and Kiss coming soon.
Who? What?
Amanda Love and Kiss.
Oh God.
Oh, but I thought actually
I
want to start like an alter ego. I'm going to start an alter ego. Like I was thinking of doing like a comedy channel and doing it. I'm going to call myself Richard Power, but otherwise known as Dick Power.
Dick Power. Oh. I love it. You gotta love his channel. He's got some big dick energy. You know?
Not Richard Head then.
That's not a conspiracy.
That's the whole point of my rebranding is to let out some of the more crazy personalities in Mike Roch. Yes. Oh, love it. But yeah.
Dirk Sledge.
That just sounds like a fucking porn star name. You know? Starring Dirk Sledge. You know? Crotch Hammer.
Yeah,
hey?
Crotch Hammer.
Fucking hell.
Dick A Round.
You know what?
We need to get back on the conspiracies, guys.
Your viewership is disgusting, mate. Disgusting people. Fucking love it.
You don't get this on Simon and Dan's podcast, I tell you that.
I'm gonna do that as a short. Yeah, I'm gonna do that as a short, mate.
You should. That's brilliant. That is
as an advert for the show.
Global Mum, Phil Mike Hunt, and Richard Face. But yeah, Phil Mike Hunt is Pat McGroin. Oh, fuck.
Oh my God.
Sofa King Great. Yep, that is a great business name right there. Oh my fucking god.
Oh, we've got 33 people. Ooh, there's 33 people watching. That's bad.
Yeah, fuck. I guess we've all been accepted into the Freemasons now.
Yes,
Rock on.
we're there.
Rock on.
Welcome, guys.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
So you're all now
Just for your
Freemasons.
thumbnail. Oh, I got your back, buddy. Get that Illuminati shit going out there. Fill the cavity. Oh.
That is something there. Like
one more. Q clocks.
Oh my god, yeah, from the IT crowd, Peter File. Yeah. Oh my god, Peter File.
That was that was a great show.
That was like I don't. I think it came out while I was still in the States, so I never heard of it. But last year during lockdown, someone brought it up, so I binge watched it all. And yeah, oh my god, it was fucking brilliant. Really good.
Yes,
really good.
Have you ever seen Gavin and Stacey?
I've seen some of it. I want to start it from the beginning.
Gavin and Stacey's good.
Yeah, I've watched like they did like 1 or 2 Christmas specials, didn't they? That were fucking great. Oh, you know what they had on TV the other day was it was loads of like, you know, English actors and stuff that were talking about you know, Harry Enfield and Paul Whitehouse, and showing like loads of the and like Harry, what's her name? Fucking that was Perry, and you know, Kevin and Perry on Harry Enfield and Chums.
Kathy Burke.
That's it, Kathy Burke. So yeah, they were talking about all them, and they were showing a load of the old clips, and yeah, that stuff just doesn't get old. I could binge watch all of that now. Same as like Bottom or Young Ones. You know, like it's timeless. Fucking great shit. Red Dwarf. I need to binge watch all of that again.
Red Dwarf, yeah.
So LimeyPlay.
Sorry.
Bringing it back to the conspiracy talk a little. Was there anything that you have once believed that you're now like, you know, was it chemtrails, or was there any conspiracy where you think I've definitely believed that?
See, so like the thing with the chemtrails, I don't believe the whole chemtrail conspiracy, you know, because I understand how condensation works at high altitudes, but you know, they have used planes before to try and what do they call it, like seeding or something. So you know, I can kind of understand the thing there. Like when I was at my worst and I was in that sort of mental, I mean, like, I literally, before I got fucking sorted and on meds, like I was institutionalized a couple of times. I thought that fucking agents were following me, and during that time I thought the moon landing was a hoax. I definitely thought that someone else killed JFK. Never quite went with Elvis being alive or anything like that. I do, you know, and I wouldn't consider it a conspiracy. I do believe in aliens. I don't think they've ever been here, but I think I just think with how vast the universe is, the chance of us being the only planet with life, I think, is very slim. I don't think they've been here, but I definitely think there's something out there. Maybe in many decades or centuries, our paths will cross, you know, as space travel improves.
It was quite interesting, actually. I noticed earlier a conversation with Rachel where she was saying, and I think it was with Deadly Dave, and she was saying how she used to believe in aliens and, you know, the whole Area 51, Roswell. JFK apparently was killed because he was about to come out and talk about the aliens. And, you know, she was like, I was dead set on that. And then when I found, you know, and then Dave said to her, like, what made you stop believing in aliens? And then she said, when I found flat Earth, because aliens can't exist. Do you know what I mean? And like,
I'll be right back. Like, I just need to go and run into oncoming traffic.
Flat Earth.
Really? Fucking Flat Earth. How Flat Earth saved me from fucking believing in aliens? You know what? That's a movie. That is a movie right there.
Like no flat earther can believe in aliens.
McCarthy, I think.
There's nothing out there.
There's got to be something out there. I don't think they would have made it this far. I think if they've got the technology to travel this far, they've probably got the technology to scan the planet. And the minute they see that there's at least one flat earther inhabiting this, they'd be like, you know what, fuck that noise, and they bounce. You know, logic.
Why would they come? Not being funny, like why would they come all this way to go to like, I don't know, some farm in Texas and take the sheep
Why
or
is
something?
it always America?
Just like,
or at least mostly. What the fuck have they got that we don't? You know, where's our aliens?
And when it's a human, it's always a probe up the arse, isn't it? So
yeah. You know, maybe it's just people having PTSD from, you know, a fucking rectal thermometer gone wrong.
I see Noah there itching to say something, dude. What was it you were going to say?
I was just going to say, like, my whole sort of theory of what this, like, if aliens have noticed us, that there might be some kind of, like, in the ideal world, there's, like, some kind of galactic or even, like, a galactic region that's where all the intelligent life have come. Yeah, like Mass Effect, the Federation from Star Trek, they've kind of come together and said, we're not going to talk to civilizations that haven't hit the, like, been able to warp, travel by warp speed to get certain places. So they know we're here, but they're intentionally, like, blocking our view of the universe, like shielding themselves so that
we're not quite
can't
there yet, you know.
And like I had this discussion with somebody else on Discord the other day, but it was like they were like, well, wouldn't aliens just see us all being idiots and warlike and violent and leave? And not necessarily, because all species, like if you look at, or all civilizations have like a violent period that seeds into peace. Like you can see that just through our history. Like you see big violent spikes, and then a regime takes over, and you see that going over a few times, and we've just been getting like longer and longer periods of peace.
Do you think that we're getting longer and longer periods of peace because a lot more people are dropping religion? Because here's my thing, and like, you know, there's that whole thing where, you know, because obviously you can't prove that there's a God, but you can't disprove it either. Now, personally, I think if, you know, at the moment, I don't believe there is one just because of the lack of evidence. But if there was one, it's not one that's covered by any religion so far, you know? But
it's very true.
I mean, the whole theory really, like the way I see it, you know, is religion was probably created to give people that idea that death isn't the end, you know, because a lot of people struggle with that. Me personally, I'm looking forward to it. You know, I love sleeping, and it's very hard for me to get enough of it. I think it's going to be great when it finally happens. But
see, I can't think like that. I hate it. I hate the fact I'm going to die. But I literally,
you know what?
I have
It means that we've got to leave our mark. You know, like the whole theory is. Like when it comes down to when you're gone and you look at your tombstone, all you are is a birth date and a dash and a death date. And your goal is to make that dash in the middle mean as much as possible to as many people as possible. That's why I get on YouTube and try to annoy the fuck out of people, because I want to leave an impression, you know?
Well, actually, I did think that. That is literally like it's a digital way to live forever, isn't it? Like, you know, if you are online, it's going to be there far past when you're gone.
Or
you know, so
case,
I mean, it's the only real guaranteed way of carrying on, isn't it? Is just to, you know, if you've got a huge presence like that, say people like Elvis, you know, he literally is still alive because people still talk to him to this day.
People still listen to his music. He's eternal.
His body is, you know, he's physically dead, but he will always be alive into a certain respect because people will always listen to his music. And, you know, so I think that is literally, that's the way. I mean,
the only downside is with YouTube. I think that if you don't post new content or community posts for 6 months, They reserve the right to remove you. Actually, I don't think it cancels your channel. Maybe it just removes you from the partner program.
Yeah, I mean, they could just take it away. They could take your channel away.
Yeah,
matter
if
what,
they
you
do,
know,
I'll haunt them. You know,
Yeah,
ghosts might not be real.
you
I've
want
talked to
them.
J.L. Warren about that, but even if they're not real, I'm gonna fucking make them real. You know, definitely. I'm gonna be a nasty fucking ghost. I'm gonna hide shit on people, and you know, when people are walking down the street, I'm just gonna slap an ass as hard as I can to watch them jump. It's gonna be great. So, yes, I don't know. Noah, Andy, have you guys been watching a lot of all the shit that's going on? Jake the arsehole and people denying Rob Skiba's death by COVID and shit like that.
I've caught a bit of the Rob Skiba fallout. Jake the arsehole's quite new to me. I'm not sure whether I'll pursue him. I'll just let other creators. Well, I'm not a creator anyway, but I'll just see what comes up on my YouTube feed, and if he features, he features. If he doesn't, I think Fight the Flat Earth's doing quite a lot on him at the moment. So
yeah, there's a lot of back and forth. I think Jake did 3 back-to-back videos on him, didn't he?
I mean, there could be that argument where I think it's FE Peer Review that brought it up, where like, are we playing into his hands by, as Andy said just now, I'd never heard of him, and now suddenly everyone in the global community is talking about him. So like, it's basically exactly what he wants, isn't it?
Well, exactly,
you know what I mean?
And that's why I can't wait to do content on him, because it's going to be a way for my channel to break out a little as well. I need to start attacking the big guys, you know.
I think you do well with Jake the arsehole, Limey. To be honest with you, you probably
did you guys watch when he came on FTFE's channel and fucking spat bars? The guy's like only 3 years younger than me. He's like, I think he's 38. I think he did a video recently about his 38th birthday.
And he says something like,
it's like a fucking playground thing.
Yeah. He said in that, it was like, you've got a ping pong pussy. Like, was one of his, it was like, you got a ping pong pussy. And I was just like, for fuck's sake, man.
I know.
Those aren't bars.
Like, you know, he fucking prepared that ahead of time because he wanted to look awesome. Yeah. All he did was make himself look like a little cunt, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, fucking hell. I don't know. I'll be right back. I've run out of Guinness.
We've got another guest, actually, that's going to join the stream. So I'm about to add you, and it is Tiny Captain. So, mate, here we go. Welcome to the stream. Good, sir. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. How are you guys?
Yes, mate. Yeah, I'm really good. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Nice little fun stream, mate. So it's good to put like more of a face to the name and to the avatar. So thanks for joining, mate.
Tiny Captain is a legend. It's not just a fucking made up name. He actually is a fucking captain. He's very awesome to talk to when it comes to stuff like celestial navigation and how
Mr. Sensible was promoting Tiny Captain the other day, I think, as well. So yeah.
Who's that? Sorry, Andy.
Mr. Sensible, I think, was.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I was in the stream yesterday.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's it. That's where I saw you. Yeah.
You know, I don't think Mr. Sensible's used my fluffy little kittens clip yet. I need to have a word with him.
You need to have a word.
Yeah. I got into Sensible's stream because they were talking about the sextant, and the sextant is not mandatory anymore on ships.
Well,
I don't like it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's kind of becoming a bit of a lost art form, isn't it? But like I said, I mean, you know, I had no idea how they worked. Obviously, you know, I know they can only work on a globe because we live on a fucking globe. But you know, after Oakley and 10th Man and all that started doing their things about it, and again, this is like, it leads me back to why I love doing what I do at the moment, because I get to learn so much. I spent like a week and a half, 2 weeks, just, you know, learning just the basics of celestial navigation. And I want to get back to, once I've finished learning the softwares I'm trying to learn, I want to get back to it, because it's so fucking interesting. It really is. It's awesome.
It
you know?
is. Yeah.
I love it.
When I was in school, it was still mandatory. And so I really hated when they actually took the mandatory off. So that people actually start stealing the sections from ships.
Fuck.
So nowadays you find the empty box and that's it.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
The flat earthers, man.
Really,
They probably stole them.
Yeah. Probably, well, fucking Flatzoid. Was it Flatzoid and his whole, you know, this is why a sextant makes a right angle that's 60 fucking degrees.
Oh yeah, the 60 fucking degrees. Jesus Christ.
It's, you know, it just lets you know, doesn't it? They all think that they understand the world so much better than us, but the amount of times they just demonstrate the dumb, like Riley, you know, what's the internal angles on a triangle with sides 1, 1, and 1? You know, I mean, fuck, if he'd at least been like, you know what, I honestly can't remember, but I know it's an equilateral triangle or something to say that he at least went to school at one point in his life. Huh?
Literally, I think that was until I saw that on FTFE one time. I actually wouldn't have known that either. You know, it shows how low my maths level was.
You know,
but I was like,
sometimes it's the stuff it's the stuff you forget, right? Like, I had to reteach myself trigonometry, you know, to do some of my videos, because I've never had to use it since I left school, and that was 25 fucking years ago, you know. So yeah, you can forget stuff, but when these guys, when their sole purpose is to try and disprove the globe, and they don't understand shit like that, it, you know, it kind of throws a wrench in their fucking thing.
I always find it funny how flat earthers will say they spent time looking for evidence of the globe, and that's why they ended up as a flat earther.
Oh, and they couldn't find it. Yeah.
And they also say, like, you know, oh, I know the globe model better than you do, you know, and they'll literally say that in things, won't they? Like, I know it better than you actually do.
Yeah.
And you know, if they did, they wouldn't say stupid questions like, well, why don't we feel ourselves moving then? You know, because that question is answered in the globe model.
It's,
you know,
it's conservation of momentum. You know, why can you walk? Why can you walk on a fucking plane going 500 miles per hour at cruising speed? Because because you're in the inertial reference frame. You know, you feel acceleration and deceleration. You don't feel constant motion. Greater Sapien did a video, and he calculated the amount of G-force, gravitational force, that you would feel from Earth spin, its orbit around the sun, the solar system's movement. And I think he even did the movement of the Milky Way. And none of them even come like really close to 2 times, you know, one Earth G, one gravitational unit, as it were, you know. So all of this movement, because of the way it's moving, and because it's constantly moving, we're not going to feel shit. You're born into it anyway. Even if there was a time when you'd feel yourself suddenly go into this constant motion, actually no, because you're fucking moving with it in the womb. So there's like, there's no time. There's you know, like, it's not even a workaround for them, really.
I actually said that in one of my first flat Earth videos. I was like, you know, what happens when a woman has a baby? You know, and us going, you know, does the Coriolis effect come in then? And you know, because I just
only
didn't
if she's having the baby while she's fucking base jumping near the equator, and the fucking umbilical cord starts doing No.
It's just because they don't understand it, you know, because I didn't, and I still don't a lot, but I know my limitations now, and that's how you can almost know you're right, because you then can accept that people know more than you, you know, but you can put your trust and faith in those people rather than just thinking like, oh, they're wrong, I must know more. You know, we can.
I think you're a smarter man, right? If you don't know a lot, but you admit you don't know a lot and you're willing to learn, that makes you a smarter man than someone that knows a lot but acts like they know everything. You know? The willingness to learn. And again, and I say it probably on every time I come on your fucking stream. You know, is one of the reasons you come back is because you've got that willingness to learn, and it pulled you back to reality. It's the same reason your other channel is so fucking like it's TV quality, because you learn these historical stories inside and out, and I love the way you recreate them. You know, like it's amazing. It is amazing. You know, well, I'm a bit jealous. I might need to hire you as my editor.
I have to admit
to learn that's actually being smart.
Sorry, Andy.
Sorry, no. I was just going to say, physics was probably my weakest subject at school, and I've learned so much since I got tangled up in this whole flat Earth debunking stuff. I've learned so much about physics.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. I was shit at physics. I was shit at most stuff because I didn't have the drive. You know, like my best grades for GCSEs was C's. It wasn't until I grew up a bit that I suddenly had this drive. And I'm not a fucking genius by any means, but once I got that drive to learn, later FE peer review, good seeing you, mate. Once I got that drive to learn, like when I was in college, I was able to achieve straight A's, and it was hard and it took a lot of work. But the main thing that caused that was wanting the knowledge. You know, I wish I'd had that mindset at school. You know,
me too. It took me a long time. Yeah, it took me a long time to get back into the learning sort of mindset. But I mean, but you know what? I've watched all of Bob the Science Guy's videos. I still can't get my head around sextants.
It can be a bit hard, I think.
And if I can't, how can your average flat earther claim to know everything there is to know about how they work?
Yeah. I honestly don't think your average flat earther knows how to make a fucking pot noodle, but you know,
and then I have to turn the kettle on first.
But Bob explains it better than actually the school books.
But I boil the kettle and the water stays flat. How's Earth rotating?
The water found its own level.
Flat earthers would eat the noodles raw and then snort the powder.
And drink the boiling water. Oh my god!
Yes. Disclaimer: if you're a flat earther, do not do this.
Yes. Disclaimer: STST does not promote drinking boiling hot water. You fucking
only fridge cooled alcohol is okay, but please do not drink boiling hot water
or a nice freezer chilled Belvedere. Or oh my god, I need to get some more scotch. I've run out. You know, I rarely drink. I actually, when I was coming on STST streams, like on a fucking, like anytime he did a stream, I'd come on. I was drinking a lot more because I was only drinking on his stream. But yeah, I mean, because I think if I get to the point, like it's okay to have one or two drinks when you're on your own. What's that, mate?
I went, are you blaming me for your drinking?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. No, but you know, like if I was one of them people that got hammered on his own, that's a problem. You know, like it's like I'll have a summer shandy, you know, on a nice hot day, or I'll have a Guinness or two on occasion, or a nice scotch. But Yeah, you give me the chance to get fucking plastered, mate. Appreciate it.
Well, it's these times as well. You know, I don't even go out anymore. You know, there's like all the clubs are open up in Ipswich. I mean, I was never really a clubber, but you know, I just don't even want to do it because all I hear is, oh, there was a COVID breakout, and you know, so I'm just like, there's situations where this is my socialising. You know, this is my going to the pub. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of, but it's been like that for a lot of people, hasn't it? You know, throughout you know, the pandemic and stuff. I have got a super chat. Thank you very much, JSS Tiger. You absolute superstar for $5. Can we speak on Rachel's recent discovery of relative density equilibrium? Well, I think LimeyPlay is a bit of an expert in that. He's done quite a few videos on it.
Yeah, I just responded. You know,
one,
you can check my video on Rachel today. I've done 3 videos on Riley. Relative density disequilibrium doesn't stand up for shit. It's so dumb. And now they're trying to, so like Rachel's ones now, and I don't know if she's come up with it on her own or if she's got it from Riley, but you know, because we've got gravity that, you know, on average at the surface is 9.8 meters per second squared. So suddenly for their relative density to work, you know, she's pointing out that we know that everything falls at 9.8 meters per second squared in a vacuum. So she's trying to attribute that to the density argument.
Yeah.
But the thing is if it was due to density, and let's just say that for some reason, without gravity, density still wanted to get to, you know, an order of most dense to least dense, depending on density, you know, like if a really dense object is at a very, you know, at a height and wants to get back to its density, it's not going to fall at the same, it wouldn't fall at a constant speed. So like hypothetically speaking, I don't think they could have that constant. Like there's no way to steal gravitational acceleration.
Blue Marble actually did a video about it. And
who?
Yeah, Blue Marble.
Oh yeah,
Blue Marble Science. And yeah, she actually just in the equation for gravity, she just changed the little g for the little d. So I actually responded on her, where do you get the d from? Where do you get the d from? Where do you get the d from? Oh yeah, you changed it for the little g. And she responded back, and I started to talk about stability of ships and the factors of gravity, and then she never responded anymore.
Yeah,
I
sorry, Noah, go ahead.
I can like destroy the entire relative density argument with one word, and that word is clouds.
That my word was bollocks, but please
that also
elaborate for us, because like, yes, that's awesome.
A cloud is a dense grouping of water molecules. That's why you can see it relative to the air, and that's what causes like haze in some cases and everything as well. But if a cloud is a big dense block of water, I know it's still separate molecules, but if it's all there, why is that not sinking down towards the ground at a constant rate if density is playing a role there?
That's a great point. Same thing with like the, you know, chemtrails that are really contrails. You know, like they're because these particles are freezing basically, aren't they? Due to the height and extreme cold.
Yeah.
Why are they not suddenly falling?
I honestly think she'll use that though as proof that evidence that gravity doesn't exist. You know, she'll say, "Oh, well, gravity would pull the clouds down," and you know, so she'll come up with some other
it's mass spread out, isn't it? It's basically it supports gravity, and it doesn't, like Noah says, it doesn't support density at all.
But the thing is, clouds are affected by gravity. Because once they get heavy enough, the water falls as rain. Yeah. Like it's a case where it gets to like a certain concentration, and then the cloud just can't hold it all anymore, and it falls out the bottom of it pretty much. The vast oversimplification, but that's basically what it is. Like clouds are actually a really good tool for beating flat Earth.
It's also fun to see them, for example, in South Africa, see them fall over Table Mountain. because clouds
Really?
actually fall off the mountain.
That is fucking awesome.
Yeah, that must obviously just like kind of happen instantly, like with the different pressure. And it just kind of.
Yeah, because the mountains are so fucking high up, they go past the cloud line. One thing I love to do is because all of these flat earthers say they follow the scientific method and they understand science so much, and I love to tear their equations apart. Because for one, in physics, the symbol for density is what's it? Fuck, is it rho? It looks like a P. God, I'm drunk. But anyway, it's not a D.
No, and especially if you use in the same sentence,
it's a fucking D.
And if you use in the same sentence little d and big D, you're completely lost.
Well, I'm a great example of big D. But the thing is, they don't even know how to put a fucking equation together.
No.
Yes, that is a correct correction there that just came up on screen.
Yep.
But yeah,
that's something that we were going to do. And in Discord, it's CrowXE has put together a Discord. But, one of the things I love when I get critiqued on a video or corrected on a video, because it's improving my knowledge. And, like the general consensus is that flat earthers don't like to be fucking corrected because they believe they know everything. And so we're all going to put together, we're going to go through our content and, just show like all the times we've been corrected and graciously accept it and how it's helping us grow, and all that, because that's just something you don't see on the flat earth side. And I thought that was a fucking great idea, So that's something we've got a few people involved with that. I've flown many times. I can feel that the plane is moving. When it hits cruising speed, Gary, even if you can feel it a bit because of
turbulence, 8 times
air
a year,
resistance, etc., you can walk as if it's normal, right?
Yeah.
You're on a 500-mile-per-hour fucking hunk of metal flying through the air. When you start, when you go to drink, it doesn't fly back into your face. That is the inertial reference frame. And if you can do that with a fucking plane at 500 miles per hour, why can't you do it with the Earth at 1,000? And that's only at the equator anyway. Like they always do. This is why we talk about it as 15 degrees per hour, because the speed doesn't fucking matter.
I just flown from literally the other side of the world about 2 weeks ago. I didn't feel the plane moving when we were on cruising speed.
Yeah, if you have a nice flight, you don't really feel it. If you have a fucking turbulent one,
of course.
Then But
you
probably feel a
train on a plane when you're flying anyway. I mean, you're never going to get a completely smooth transit on an aeroplane. No, there's always going to be the odd bump along the way. But
every now and then, But the main point, and they want to argue it because that's what they fucking do. They have to argue it. But for the majority, once you hit cruising speed, you're okay. And same thing, trains, or you fucking snap the cruise control on your car when you're, on the fucking motorway or whatever. You're not feeling it anymore. It's I don't know.
Another good way to actually debunk the density, if you actually move a weight on a ship from to the side, it doesn't change the density of the ship, but it will tip over because of gravity.
Yeah, that's true. Because you do them ships with them massive fucking things on, don't you? Like the transport.
Yeah, I actually do. Ship's delivery itself. So I sail the ship that I deliver, but I sail about all ships in existence.
Nice. So. Yeah, see, so and even Rachie has tried to say that Tiny Captain doesn't know what he's talking about when it comes to ships and their balance and how they float. And
the first one that actually said it was Jason.
Right.
Remember Jason?
Who was
Jason the Family Man.
I don't remember.
It was he was on MC Tune. He was on FTFE. He was in Discord. He been on Blue Marble Science. It was he looked like the Limp Bizkit guy. And he was completely crazy vegan. Said that we all had worms because we didn't eat it, and B12 was actually a parasite and freaking out. Well, he actually because he was working on windmills and also been on ships, he knew more about ships than me. Well, I'm a sailor officer in sailing from 1999, so. Yeah.
So not long then. Not long.
No,
only the entire length of my life.
No, you're a fucking young'un, aren't you? Jesus.
Yeah.
That means I'm old enough to be your dad. You prick. You just ruined my night. Fucking bastard.
I just turned
What I hate though is
45 last month. So.
Fair play, mate. I'm 41 now.
You look good for your age, Tiny Captain. You look good for your age, mate.
I thought you was about to tell me I look good for my age. You bastard. I'm your mate. You're supposed to back me up, man.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be my geezer.
No, we're geezers. We're geezers, dude.
Yeah, definitely.
What I hate though is say on social media though, you'll get so many people go, oh, you know, I'm a navigator, I'm a pilot, yeah, the Earth's flat, and 99% of them obviously are just clearly lying anyway.
Yeah,
but,
if you do international flights, or if you're in like military flight, you don't. There's no fucking way you believe the Earth's flat. You know, and again that shows off their cherry picking, doesn't it? They're like, well, even in the flight manual,
yeah.
They say you treat it as a flat, non-rotating Earth. Well, of fucking course they do, because when they're learning it, that training has no idea where the fuck they're going to be flying. So you have to learn a standardized way, and then you adjust it depending on where you are in the world and what direction you're going, you know?
Well,
so,
yeah, I mean, it's quite obvious, isn't it? Like, the Earth is huge. The Earth is huge, so you could basically assume it's flat.
Yeah,
you are traveling within the atmosphere, so basically assume that the atmosphere isn't moving. You know, that is no way.
There's slight drag, but yeah, like you say, you know, like for local, because like if you're looking at the horizon at sea level, you're basically looking at like a couple feet of fucking hump over like well over 15,000 feet. You're not going to notice that with the naked eye. So yeah, like you say, local, it is flat, basically, you know, because it's just there's such a minute fucking thing. But yeah, they don't understand 3D. You know, you got Rachie with her this doesn't understand shit. You got Oakley who thinks fucking Google Earth should show drop. Why the fuck do we need to know the drop for anything that we do normally in you know? Just I weep for fucking humanity. You know?
Remember Oakley's meltdown when he was asked to convert meters into kilometers. Just remember that.
Oh yes. How do you convert 1 meter into kilometers? Yeah. What is it? You divide it by 1,000. Well, no, if you're going to turn it to kilometers, you times it by 1,000. Fucking idiot.
I actually did a video about it to remember everybody about it. Murphy Goes to School, it's called.
Murphy Goes to School. We can share the screen on here, mate, if you want to share the video and we watch it. That would be quite funny.
Oh, it's on YouTube. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's on his channel.
Don't worry. But yeah, share a link maybe in the chat, and then people can check it out.
Yeah, Tiny Captain does some good stuff in that. Tiny Captain works fucking hard, and his job sometimes has him away for months. So, you know, sometimes we don't see him for a while. That's what makes it so special when he is around. And this is the first time I've got to see the fucker. You know, I didn't even know if he had a face.
Hey,
You know?
wait a minute. I was in the video of Iris twice.
I may have been drunk.
Yeah, I've never seen your face. I'm
I
a bit
wasn't bothered
disappointed you're not wearing a
with it, though,
captain's hat though.
Yeah.
I think you should actually have a captain's
I have
hat
the
on.
stripes, but I don't have a hat.
We'll get you a hat. Let's do a GoFundMe to get Tiny Captain a hat. Come on, it's worth it. It's worth it.
Also has to be too big, like my avatar.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance. Like I say, like I haven't even watched any YouTube videos this week because I was rushing to get my video out. But I know, didn't you release a new video today, or was it yesterday or the day before, Tiny Captain?
I did one yesterday.
With a chicken?
Yeah. It's about
I need to watch that. That's on my tomorrow, because I finished my video today. Tomorrow I'm taking a fucking day off. I'm catching up on I've got such a large watch later list. It's ridiculous.
This one is
I'm gonna play catch up. So I look forward to it.
The one before that is about Richie, and before that is about what we were talking about.
Jake the arsehole, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the last one.
I think when I hovered over it, because you know it starts playing like a few seconds. I'm sure it had the cartoon him. Wasn't he wearing that fucking stupid hat that he wore when he came on FTFE?
Yeah.
Yeah. I occasionally have eidetic memory, just I don't always have the film.
I've got a bit of a nickname for him, LimeyPlay. You know, with that hat is Jake Miraquai.
Yes. Oh my god, I might have to borrow that.
That the chicken is wearing.
I think JK might take offence at that analogy, though.
The hat that the chicken is wearing is actually one Jake did at a gig when he was playing bass guitar.
Oh, nice.
So
what's the fucking?
I actually took that hat from a picture of that gig and put it on the chicken.
We could change it, couldn't we? Like, I don't know. Jake is living in flirtard insanity. You know what? Yes, we could do something. That's the only song I can remember for Jamiroquai. Was
Insanity. That was a tune,
I'm gonna have to. You know what? I'm gonna have to fucking look his shit up. And here's the thing. Trying to make a fucking music video, like timing lyrics with an existing song, is fucking hard. And I gave up on it months ago. But I've still got, like, I've got the vocals recorded, ready to slap on top of Eminem's fucking "Lose Yourself." I've got go flurf yourself, and I'm gonna have to adjust it because it's months ago. So there's flurfs I need to add to it, but I've still got that. I need to get that done because "Go Flurf Yourself." I reckon that would be huge. That would be
in the moment you lose it.
Yeah, definitely.
Only hard to get it on YouTube because I already in the beginning of my videos I got 2 strikes because I only used music from a song and I got a strike.
You should appeal that because if you've added stuff on top of it, if you've changed it enough, that's fair use. So yeah, I'd appeal that. Oh yeah, he did Cosmic Girl as well. We could do one for Rachie. You're just a fat girl.
Yes.
Miles from reality. You're listening to too much Riley.
You're on a,
oh my god.
Roll,
yes. We need to start writing some of this shit down. Fucking you've got the fucking hookup for making music videos, haven't you? We need to sort something out. When you come visit to do a part of history for Whitstable, we need to record a fucking music video as well.
We do, mate. Yes, that would be brilliant.
Yes,
yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
let's do like a rap, like an Eric Dubay thing. I need to do like an Eric Dubay rap or something.
Did you watch? So it got taken off of YouTube, but I managed to fucking find it online. His rap talking about like the Holocaust being fake, Hitler being a nice bloke. Like, what the fuck is wrong with him?
I've never seen any of that.
Oh my god, dude!
It's
disgusting. Like, I don't like violence, but if I saw him in real life, I'd punch him in the fucking face. Like, he's a neo-Nazi piece of shit. Really is. It's
some
disgusting.
of the stuff.
I don't know if I downloaded it.
He says, obviously, like, oh, YouTube won't have the real truth. You've got to come on my bitch shoot or whatever, and it's just like, it's just, it's terrible. He completely denies the Holocaust. It's unbelievable. To think that he'll go that far.
I knew that of him, but I've not seen any of that content by him. It's only what other creators have.
Let's see if we can fucking find it. We can't play it on this stream though, because it's just so hateful. It would probably get you.
Yeah, it'll probably like flag up on my channel, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but Andy, are you in the Discords, Andy?
Search it out though if you want to.
I'm not, but I mean, I'm not particularly gagging to watch it. If you see what I mean, that sort of thing. You're not going to fucking lose anything by not watching it. No, exactly. And
I think if you search like Eric Dubay Hitler rap, I think it's the one called "Once You Go Flat." Like it's like the 5th one down on Google. I think it's that one.
I may give it a little look. I mean, I much prefer the Hitler Reacts to videos. They're much more funny. They are.
This is. Sorry, Andy.
No, I was just saying the Hitler Reacts to videos where I forget what the film is now, but Hitler Reacts to Jose Mourinho going to Spurs or something like that. Like those are very funny.
You mean.
Do you know the videos I mean?
The ones from the film where he's
didn't Rachie use that scene for something with FTFE? But no, Eric Dubay is the reason I don't fucking trust vegans,
That was all views of LimeyPlay, may not all be views of the STST stream.
Disclaimer: STST does not promote eating of animal flesh unless it's deep fried and breaded.
No, I mean, no,
I am actually.
Vegans aren't quite as bad as Dubay.
So many people know that I'm back living with my mother after injuring my back, and she's gone to visit my brother. Well, not yet. She's gone to my sister's. She left today to go see my sister and niece and nephew, and she's flying to the States to see my brother for 4 months on Saturday. So I'm actually, I'm in charge of the shopping, like 100%, all that, and because there's a lot of stuff that I want to try that she hasn't. And so, like, the local Tesco's does, I think the brand is Beyond Meat. It's like £5 for a pack of 2, but it's 2 meatless burgers. And I've watched videos of people trying them, and apparently they're amazing. They've also, they've been made with such care that they basically have everything that a burger has in it, besides the saturated fats, right? Like, nutrient and everything else wise, and even to the point where it looks like meat, it breaks like meat, texture. So I'm looking forward to trying those.
I've had a few
when I do a shop next week. But yeah,
I've had a few burgers and like kind of vegetarian ones, but like, and there's actually some really nice
bean burgers,
but like, I'm a 100% meat eater, but like every now and again, like when I have a barbecue, sometimes even like I'll be like, do you know what? I'll get like meatless burgers, and I'm literally not even thinking about the environment really or anything. I'm just more thinking like healthiness for myself. As I sit here smoking
and you
drinking a can of cider.
you don't want to
like,
kill the poor cow.
Yeah, like not. I don't know, not necessarily. It's just kind of I know that.
Oh, so
I've at
you
least
do
got
want
to
to
try and
kill
be
the cow?
conscious.
You
Yeah, I
bastard!
mean, I'd take a bite from it whilst it's alive, mate. Like,
Yeah, no, sorry, that was
if
me.
it's
That was
taking
me
it alive,
trying
like,
flat Earth debate tactics. I'm trying to understand how their minds work because I want to start debating a couple of them. And you know, I think it works. Yeah, they dodgy fuckers. But no, how were they, the meatless burgers?
they were really good. I really, really liked them. Because my missus, like, she kind of went for a vegetarian, vegan stage, and so I was like, okay, I'll try them out as well. And I really did enjoy them. It was, if you go in there going, oh, it's not going to be like proper meat, then I don't think you're going to enjoy it. But if you literally go in with an open mind, then and you think actually that was a bloody good burger, and I've definitely had completely meat-free burgers that were just as good as a real like 100% Angus burger, so they are out there, but there's obviously still a lot of crap as well. But
probably more expensive too, aren't they? Because they're such a rarity. Can I ask, have any of you seen Seaspiracy on Netflix? Because I haven't watched it yet. Everyone I know that has watched it has instantly stopped eating fish. So has anyone here seen it?
I haven't watched it, but I think I know. It's like basically saying that there's so much plastic in the ocean now that fish are like toxic at this point because it's just, and then also like the overfishing. I mean, I am vegetarian. I have been since birth. So like my parents raised me that way. So I mean, the meat alternatives, I have to say, are actually, they've gotten substantially better. Like in 2010, the corn burgers that you could get, there was one type and they all tasted like cardboard. And now you can get those ones that are so good, like you can give them to a meat eater and they almost don't know that there's anything wrong.
I know when I was young, this is before you were born, Noah, you fucking young'un. But no, my aunt went vegetarian, and back then, I don't know if you had to, but it was advised that you took certain supplements because a lot of the alternatives didn't provide, all of the nutrition that the body needs. But now it seems like, the way they're making these things, you're basically getting everything that you need, But and you talk about plastic. Basically, every human alive now has microplastics in them, either from seafood, drinking water, even in the air we breathe. And if you want to learn more about it, check out my video that I've done in collaboration with Mr. Beast and former NASA employee Mark Rober to promote Team Seas, where we are trying to raise $30 million by the end of the year to remove 30 million pounds of plastic from the ocean. It's already close to 20 million, and it's literally been going for less than 2 weeks. So I think it'll easily hit its target by the end of the year.
I linked it in my last video.
Sorry?
I linked it in my last video because I didn't have time. I was just home when the videos came out. I didn't have any time, but
Have you ever noticed?
Almost.
Have you ever noticed any pollution? Have you noticed any pollution in the oceans, Tiny Captain?
Oh yes, plenty.
Have you ever sailed near the Great Pacific Garbage Patch? Because I didn't know much about ocean pollution, but I looked into it a lot to make this video.
Old washing machines and refrigerators coming from the coast of India.
Jesus.
I mean,
no, one of the things I learned, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is 1.6 million square kilometers of floating rubbish.
They actually
also, the floating rubbish, and there's 5 spots in the world where they converge. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch is the largest, but all of the floating, like the big debris, is they estimate. I think it's like 1% of the actual plastic in the ocean, because it breaks down into macro, then micro, then nanoplastics, and so obviously some of it can't be perfectly tested, but from the pretty educated fucking stuff is that it's all the way down to the fucking bottom of the oceans. Every sea turtle, from the moment they start eating, ends up with fucking plastic in their stomachs. It's ridiculous. The video I made, there was one of the seabirds. It's a flesh-footed shearwater, and they found it dead, and they cut its stomach open. It had 175 bits of plastic in its stomach because they mistake it for food.
Yep.
And it's disgusting. I never realized how fucking bad we are as a civilization. So
it's all hidden. I think it was hidden for a long time. I hate the way that the blame has been put on the general public, like us guys. We're all to blame, and
and a lot of it we put out there, but we weren't educated.
Finding out about it.
I was really angry with one of my cooks once because food waste in the middle of the ocean you are allowed to dump, and it's better as well because or else you have rotten food on your deck and everybody gets sick. But he actually threw it in a bin in a plastic garbage bag in a galley, and then he threw out the food waste. But he didn't throw out only the food waste; he threw out the plastic bag with the food waste. So
that's a no. I mean, as long as it's organic.
I got really, really mad with him, and he didn't understand why I got mad because food waste was allowed. Yes, but not the plastic bag.
You should just build ships with bins that dump directly into the ocean, like food waste bins that just have it's like a pit.
Don't need plastic.
No, but because it's not everywhere allowed. It's only so much miles out of the coast, and you have to report where you did it. And
right.
We have this garbage book with all the locations where we actually dump the food waste, and it has to be grinded, and it has to be so many miles out of the coast, and some areas you're not allowed at all. So
like some of the things that I learned as well that was it just astounded me was that 80% of the plastic, and other, pollution debris that hits the oceans comes from rivers. So it doesn't even get dumped directly into the ocean, but ends up flowing down. And I think there's like 1% of the world's rivers are responsible for most of it. So there's that. There's obviously all the stuff off the beach. It's and a lot of this plastic is very heavily responsible for climate change because of the gases that it releases as it starts to, sort of degrade. And this is another thing this is one of the conspiracies I really want to look into, because I don't know how it, some things just never come into never come into your radar. But when I found out there's people that actually deny climate change, that's almost worse than a fucking flat earther. You can tell the climate's changing. We're English, right? We're lucky if we get a fucking summer day with sun. This last summer, there was fucking days that hit like 40 degrees. That doesn't happen in our country, right?
I literally went the whole summer and didn't see the sun. It was just overcast for, I think I had about a week of sun.
Yeah. I grew up. Flatzoid, let me in, cowards. Dude, come the fuck in. You don't know shit. I'll fucking rip you a new one.
Flatzoid's here.
Hey,
Flatzoid.
If he wants to join in, that is ready to be pussy
new one.
That fucking wants to pretend the Challenger disaster didn't happen. What a cunt.
Flatzoid.
What a cunt. Just because there's dude, that fucking conspiracy's been debunked so many fucking times. And even with the fucking names of the real people, you gullible little piece of shit.
Has he got a right angle sextant with him today?
Like I was saying, like the Challenger disaster and the Columbia disaster last stream, I was saying one of my relatives actually worked on the cleanup for that. Like went to, I think it went down over Texas mostly, but he was working with the Forest Service at the time and was actually flown into Texas to like assist with picking up all the bits because it was like a classified government site. Like they had to figure out to get all the pieces before.
I don't remember it well, but you know, I was a kid and we were watching it on the telly. I think it was when, you know, we were living in either Michigan or Florida at the time. And yeah, it's one of the things that I don't even remember. I don't remember what fucking month it happened and how old I was, but you know, it's one of them things that's just seared into, like, especially as a kid, you know, just watching that shit happen. And then these dirty fucking flat earthers that think it's a load of fucking bollocks. Oh.
Hey, shut up.
Yeah. Go on, Flatside. Regale us with your... I don't want to call it knowledge.
60 degree right angle. 60
I don't know.
right
Fixing through the flat earth, 60 degree fucking right angle.
60 degree right. Yeah. Anyway, see how you got triggered then, man.
I think you need to work on the accent for that one a bit Flatsoid.
Yeah,
it's a bit.
Do you
bad.
think?
Anyway,
everyone in the UK as well.
Flatsoid, why no camera? Why no camera, Flatsoid? I want to see what you look like, you mug.
He's naked.
I've got.
It looks much like an auntie, I think.
I've got tissue up my nose. I've got tissue up my nose and blown eyeballs.
Blown eyeballs. No foreskin. Your balls are flat because nothing in your life resembles a sphere. I don't know. I wish it was the real Flatzoid. You know, like Randy gets my hopes up with these fucking. Like I think, they've had the balls to join, but no. But this is why Ranty so rightly so said, you know what? Just embrace the triggered. Because I'm this big ball of fucking anger from these cunts, you know? And so why not turn my channel into that? You know, why not use my elevated blood pressure to get my point across?
Well, that's why I
think Flatzoid or Ranty has got something to say, I think.
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah. So the reason I've joined is because literally what you just did then when I said let me in, cowards, and you got triggered so badly. It's like I think the triggered limey for your new channel brand is going to be awesome. Especially because I know you're going to pull it off. I know you're going to pull it off. I know that you could talk about anything and get triggered about it, and you'll make it funny as well, which is good.
Yeah. It helps because I have no control over my emotions. Like even with the medication, it's that's why I get so angry. Like it's the best idea ever, and I fucking love you for it.
The kind of get out clause at the end of everyone is just, don't worry guys, it's just the medication.
I might go a few days off the meds. Just to do a video and show what it's really like, you know. I just have to time it right because after a few days, sometimes the voices start, and that might make for a really bad video.
Well, I think in this community, we've got the debunkers that debunk them through science. We've got the debunkers that debunk them through a bit of humor, and then to have something different as well. Which is nobody's in that lane. Nobody's triggered. Nobody's actually really losing the shit over how stupid these flat earthers are. Like maybe Sean Hawkins.
The thing is,
Griffin with what really grinds my gears.
Yeah, Yeah, it really grinds my gears. The thing is, though, now it's got to the point where their fucking rhetoric is killing people, and they're denying, you know, the fucking deaths, causing pain to the families. So yes, I've been triggered for like a year and a half, and yeah, I think it's going to be great. And if this turns into a massive thing and makes me money, fuck, dude, I'm hiring Ranty as my fucking my manager. Because this is his baby, you know. I'm just
don't put it all on me. Don't put it all.
I'm just the fucking weapon that he's now pointing at these cunts.
You need to get a prenup going. I think get a prenup, Ranty.
Just you know, prenup. If I die or we break up, he can have half of everything.
All I did was I saw where his strengths were. I saw where his weaknesses were. I saw where I thought he could excel, and there was a gap in the market for what he actually for his personality. His personality is being held back by what he's trying to do at the minute. But if he just embraces it and lets the triggeredness flow, he can create content every single day, and he would enjoy doing it. And I think people would love seeing that too. So. Yeah.
And like you say, actually, like, you know, we do have people like Dr. Bob who can really explain a section or navigation, and you know, so maybe like, you know, Limey, you might have I'm not saying it's a bad thing that you researched it so much, but you know, when there's other people maybe doing that as well, it's already like, there, isn't it? What I'm saying. So for me to take advantage of your own personality, I think that's kind of what we're getting at, is like, you're not a teacher, are you? If you know what I mean.
For me to do like what Dr. Bob does, like a video on the sextants, I had to study for like a week and a half to 2 weeks just to learn about the basics of celestial navigation. You know, he knows it already. He can put it out in a fucking day. And then the other thing, like you say, I'm not a teacher, like because there's so much going on sometimes in my head. It's very hard for me sometimes to get my words out and to come across clearly, you know. So yeah, like I think this is going to play to my strengths because I am an angry little prick. And
short reactions. I think like you wouldn't even have to have massive long scripts written out, but like, you know, watch something.
I'm gonna bang out 5-minute videos.
Bang, and the thing is, it doesn't have to be just on Flat Earth too. So it could literally be on any conspiracy that's out there. It could even be on things like politics, or just, let's say he's been down to the fucking cafe and they gave him an egg that was, you know, not quite
that wasn't
the right
way. Those cunts.
No, wasn't free range.
Yeah, no. Fucking, the next one. What was it that we said was a great title? Randy was why I hate COVID deniers.
Yes,
that is the next one. Because here's the thing, right? If you do a video on the pandemic or COVID, you need to strenuously, especially for the algorithm and anyone that might have to review it, strenuously put in near the beginning that you are completely pro-vaccine or all that stuff. I had a video that I did on COVID, and it got it got taken down. I appealed it and they released it. Recently, because I'm going through stuff trying to optimize the channel, I changed the title, thumbnail, and the description a bit. They pulled it down again, the algorithm. And this time when I appealed it, they removed it completely. So, you know, like for us to, because of how much COVID misinformation there is, even the videos that are fully supportive of it have the danger of being taken down.
But I mean, they still might, even if you're in support of COVID, you might still be giving bad information. You know, I've been caught out with that a few times, actually.
Oh, not me, mate. My information is sound.
I actually put
my only information on COVID is vaccines are good, masks are good, Jake the arsehole's a prick. That's basically my information.
Yeah.
And it is 100% proven by science.
That's all you need to know, isn't it? At that point,
Sorry, Tiny Captain, mate. What was you saying?
I put a name for a channel in a chat, and well, there's already one that thinks it's a good name.
I know Gob Limey. Nice. Or as in Gore Blimey. Yeah.
No,
Limey,
Limey,
it's Limey. I like that, Liam. There was Limey Unchained. Yeah, it was Martin H. Was
Yeah.
Where the fuck is yours, Tiny Captain? I'm trying to find it. Oh, Limey at them. Let me at them. That is good. But no, I've decided on the triggered Limey. I like it. It works. Because that's basically it. That it's what you get. It's what you read on the tin. You know,
the triggered Limey is an individual. It's also a brand. You know,
yes.
So the triggered Limey, it's only you. There's only one triggered Limey, right?
Damn right.
And there's only one brand that can be associated with. So, you know, you kind of create that niche for yourself, and you sort of like you have that market then. So.
I need to try and get some green. Like, as you can see, the pink. So, you know, to do a proper pink for last month for breast cancer awareness, I bleached my hair first. And as you can see, there's not a lot of pink left in it. It's going back to the bleach, which is a permanent.
There's not a lot of hair, mate.
This is the longest it's been in years. I normally fucking shave it with the clippers.
I'm not talking about the length of it. I'm looking how far back it goes.
Oi, this is a six head. That's fucking knowledge. The six head is knowledge, man. Respect the six head. Prick.
Yeah, Limey's on his way, and his forehead is almost going to go back as far as mine. So.
Mate, so here's the thing, right? on my mum's side, like both my uncles at my mum's brothers,
get you a wig for Christmas.
Are getting the bald patch, and then on my dad's side, we've got a fucking Bram Stoker's Count Dracula receding hairline. I'm fucked, and this is why, like in the summer, I either just clipper it right down the stubble or I razor shave it, you know, just because it's easier. But I don't know, dyeing it green could be quite interesting.
Have you thought about you know, like plugs?
If you say hair implants, I'm going to come to your house and kick you in the balls.
I was thinking about hair plugs. You know,
motherfucker.
What is your guys' problems about hair?
Ranty, one day I'm going to offer to come help you do a bit of painting and decorating as a ruse to come and kick you in the nuts.
Brilliant. What did you say, Tiny Captain? What was it?
What is your guys' problems about hair? Getting older and getting bald? I don't understand it.
I'm actually completely fine with my hair. Like,
well, can I just say that Noah has fucking great hair.
He's got locks.
Him flicking his locks. He's flicking his locks there. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah.
At his age, I even had it
He's
longer.
like something off the bloody Game of Thrones, isn't he?
Just remember, Noah, per Daniel Tosh, a man with a ponytail is saying, "Don't fuck with me," whereas a man with pigtails is saying, "Here, hold these while you fuck me."
Yeah,
I actually had hair till over my ass when I was young.
Yeah, no, I braid my ass there.
No, but I mean, Limey, you're younger than me.
Oh, God.
Yeah, only by a few years, mate.
Yeah.
What are you drinking there, Limey? What are you drinking?
Guinness.
Right,
yep.
Okay.
Got another one of these in the kitchen.
Got one left.
Well, I knew I was coming on this stream, so I picked up 20 cans just in case.
Okay, just to last you through the evening. I get it.
Yeah, it lasts me a couple of hours, and then once it's gone, I'm done. Cut off. Maybe do a drunk Dark Souls stream on Twitch.
Can I ask Andy, because I haven't really heard much from Andy. Hiya, Andy.
Randy, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
So I missed your introduction when you joined the stream. So are you a YouTuber or? No. I'm just an observer really, and enjoy watching you guys making your content mostly. Ah, thanks very much.
Legend.
Who's your favourite content creator on the panel right now?
Just remember, I get triggered easily. So
he gets triggered very easily, and STST he's very he takes offence very easily as well.
I do.
If
my morning wank goes wrong,
like YouTube name, dude?
What's that?
What's your name on YouTube, Andy? What's your name on YouTube?
Like,
oh, okay. Yeah, I have seen you actually. Yeah,
I didn't hear that because Limey just coughed
all over the place.
My bad.
Yeah.
Limey just coughed all over you, Andy. Then when you said what your channel name was,
COVID.
Sorry, what's your channel name again, Andy?
Shut up, Limey.
It's Andy Sibley 1. That's it.
Andy Sibley 1. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
There we go. Right.
I've commented on all your videos, all you guys. So
yeah,
I'm there. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not particularly that bothered about finding my name or anything. I
do remember that comment that said, "You know what, mate? Keep doing what you're doing. You're better than STST and Plus
Okay. Well, can I ask you something? Guys, this is a serious question. Because I've never spoken to Andy before, but are you interested in conspiracies as a whole, or is it just flat Earth that interests you? If there was the opportunity was to watch other conspiracies on like my channel or STSTs or LimeyPlays, would you watch them, or is it just flat Earth that you're interested in?
Oh yeah, I'm open to watching anything about conspiracies. I don't particularly believe in any conspiracies myself. I mean, the closest I ever got was that film in the 70s about the moon landings being faked. Whatever that, Capricorn 5 was it? Something like that.
Okay,
yes.
Yeah. And is it like you watch it for the humor to see how stupid they are, or is it like you just watch it to see what we're putting out there?
It's a bit of everything really. I like the humor. I like the stuff where I can learn, like the Simon Dan and Bob the Science Guy, where you actually can learn some stuff about it. But the humor, humor's mostly what draws me in. If there's something really funny, I mean, anyone that has a dig at Nathan Oakley and makes it funny is fine by me, to be honest with you. But
have you watched my interview with Nathan Oakley?
No, I haven't. No.
Oh my! Come on, man.
I think you might need to redo that, actually, Limey. You might have to redo that as triggered Limey.
I could do
more now because I haven't watched any of his content, so I'm going to have to rectify that by the looks of it.
Yeah. So you haven't actually seen LimeyPlay before?
No. I've seen him on.
No,
I'm off. I've got to admit,
the opposite of what he is tonight. I'm only joking. But no, he has got some really good content. He's got a lot of potential. So I'm really glad that he's going to do something else, actually. Because I think.
Thanks, man.
As a Tiny Captain, hold on, wait a minute. Let's not just
let's
go back at
Tiny Captain's got some good shit.
Yeah, he's got a tidy little channel there. I have to say, tidy little channel.
Yeah.
And if anybody isn't subscribed, please go over and subscribe to Tiny Captain.
I'll be onto that as well.
Don't have always time to put something out.
If you recommend a content creator,
and
see if I like what I'm seeing. Jessie 102's one that I've subscribed to recently. She's quite good. Mr. Jones 1970 whatever.
Jessie 102 and I did a collab where we interviewed Donald Trump. Definitely worth checking out. That's on her channel. Yep. We interviewed the Oompa Loompa of fucking US presidents. He is a bit too fucking orange, isn't he?
He's very orange, Trump, isn't he?
Yeah. You're a bit green, though. Hold on, wait a minute. You're a bit green, though.
Fuck yeah, because I'm going Hulk-like, mate, on these.
You're lime-coloured, mate. I mean, come on.
Damn right. Damn right. I might even start fucking shading my, my videos a bit green. Just because, Yep.
Literally have your face tattooed as a lime.
Or just get some crayon your face, green. Cray on it, green. Yeah.
What is
such
it?
a sick
Some left
family.
around?
Hey?
Sorry, mate.
You stopped
Tony?
eating. You stopped eating the crayons, so you still have some, Renty?
Oh yes, I have definitely got plenty left. I can send them over to you, Limey, tomorrow if you want.
Cheers, mate.
Class.
Cheers, mate.
Yep. I'll send them by the diffraction limit.
Yes. Yeah. Well, oh fuck! What did you call it? When you hit the, was it the flat Earth zone?
The flat Earth zone, yes.
Yeah. Oh, I fucking love that. The flat Earth zone where shit disappears because reasons. Pricks.
Can I just
Not
say,
going over the curve. It's just shrinking from the fucking base up.
What was that, Andy, mate?
No, I was going to say, Ranty, while you're on, you're one of my favourite videos, and I did watch the whole video, and I watched it all the way through, was the I've told you 1,000 times.
Oh, right.
It's not
Oh, yeah, I watched it as well completely.
You did watch it all the way through.
Stroke of genius, mate. That was I was laughing. That was funny.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I mean, that's an effort.
Yeah.
And yeah, fair play to you. That must have been, you must have had something counting for you to be watching while you was doing it, surely.
No, I just did it in my head, but
You did it in
counted
your
it
head?
out as well. I counted it out as well. So 798. It's not atmospheric. It's not gas pressure. It's atmospheric pressure. So I remembered that. And then I went on to the next one. Yeah.
There weren't any
Well, fair play.
there weren't any cuts in that either, was it? Like
No.
you did it in a fucking road, didn't you?
I did. Yeah.
That's effort, mate.
The way
That
I
is
viewed it,
so
the way I
cool.
viewed it was that producing a video from start to finish takes me a whole day, whereas sitting down in front of the computer and talking for an hour and a half saying the same thing, I could do that. So in actual fact, it was easier work in a quicker time, but impressed a lot of people far more than it would do if I just made a crappy video for 10 minutes long.
I wonder
good
if I can call Jake the arsehole a cunt 1,000 times in a video.
Don't tempt me.
Ranty,
Don't
I
tempt
really could sit through you telling that 1,000 times, but I couldn't stand Reggie asking where he got the A from for about 5 times in a row. I had to quit.
Maybe I could ask her the same question and have her repeating the same question back.
I
Or
couldn't
give
take
her the same
her
answer.
repeating the same thing, but with you I didn't have any problems.
Poor Rachie. I do feel for her. I really do. She was really quite horrible when I streamed with FTFE. But
Did you guys see the perfume bottled video that I did?
Yes, yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
I like No by Dell.
No.
Oh, what was it? Fucking Predator by Riley. Oh, fuck. Are you finding that your TikTok channel isn't fucking warping enough kids' minds? Try Predator by Riley. Are you having trouble slapping your kid on screen? Try Rage by Oakley.
No, it was Rage by Arwen, actually.
Oh, yeah.
By Arwen,
I would have done Try Closet Homosexual by Arwen.
No, he's not gay. Like Arwen's definitely not gay.
Oh,
He's too angry. But the way he talks about women. Well,
yeah, but you know what? You get a lot of I've got a lot of gay friends, and I've seen where the ones that one of them I've known since I was 16, and he didn't come out of the closet till about 4 or 5 years ago. And you know what? There was a lot of fucking anger there because he weren't true to himself. You know what I mean?
Well,
So I don't know. I kind of like Arwen though because
really?
yeah, no, but a lot of the time,
Mate.
so I was watching an Arctic Reflections video.
You don't know him.
right after I fucking posted my video today. Like I fucking, you know, because I'm behind on my fucking stuff. And he did that one, you know, Ruhif paid rent, he did leave Flat Earth or whatever. And so, you know, I watched that, and it's Sleeping Warrior is the one that's fucking trying to put it out there that Ruhif paid for you to come back to the globe.
Fuck's
And
sake.
even and Arwen was, you know, well, no, Oakley's like, well, have you got any proof? And Sleeping Warrior, you know, in normal Fleur fashion, no, but I just know that's the case. And Arwen's like, so no, you don't have any proof. You know,
I have thought before, like maybe we should kind of set up a, you know, there's probably not many flurfers listening right now, but like set up a fake account where we offer these flat earth leaders like an amount of money to actually come out and say that we live on a globe, and see, like, you know, if we can trick any of them, you know, to actually
they'd want the money up front. Hopefully even said on his stream that, like, because I think Arwen or Sleeping Warrior said to Oakley, if you got offered $1,000 to you know, go to the globe side, you know, would you do, or put a video out or whatever? And Oakley was like, no, I'd negotiate first. I'd want $2,000 for one video, you know. So it wouldn't work because they'd want the money first, and even then. You're
deluded with Arwen from one comment that he might have said to Sleeping Warrior.
I've seen it on quite a few where he's like, I don't know. I know he's still a prick,
unreasonable,
and he's an angry little cunt sometimes. But every now and then, you know, he makes a comment that almost defends the fucking globe side. I think that the reason he gets angry most of the time is because, you know, maybe he's a closet glober and he just hasn't fucking admitted it to himself.
Well, I wouldn't put your faith in Arwen in any way, shape, or form.
Oh no, I wouldn't put any faith in him. He looks like a fucking rat.
He is one of the worst. Like,
really?
Yes, by a country mile. I mean, he's not.
I think he's dangerous
in country mile.
And as STST says, you know, it's like even dangerous, you know, because of his beliefs. You know, he's like an Eric Dubé wannabe. That's probably a lot more unhinged and a lot more isolated. You know, doesn't have any friends. You know, I mean, literally, he could go off at any moment. You know, he's dangerous.
It's like Daniel Pratt. Like Daniel Pratt is one that I could really see, like, just fucking taking a gun and doing something stupid. You know, like I don't trust Daniel Pratt as far as I could fucking.
I think something stupid could happen soon. What the hell's happened to Nathan Thompson? I've just realised. What's happened to him? Is he gone? Like, has he disappeared? It's like,
who knows? Who cares? You know?
Yeah. I mean. Yeah,
I think he traded his alcoholism for a weed habit for a while. He makes his dog eat vegan. No disrespect to Noah, but it's a fucking dog. It's an animal. You shouldn't make it a vegan. I think that's wrong.
Oh no, I'm completely in agreement. Animals should absolutely not be fed vegan diets. It's just wrong. It's like we as humans can understand what we're doing as like. We're doing this for a higher cause, or I mean, in my case, it's just all I've ever known. And the times I've tried meat, I've just been like, I don't like this very much. So I haven't seen
animals. It's biological imperative, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, a lot of the vegan food that you can get for dogs and stuff, vegan food is like grain and stuff, which just isn't good for dogs. They are still very much carnivores and predators in that sense, so they need that meat to be able to live. So yeah,
it's how their bodies have evolved, isn't it? It needs a meat diet. Well, the other thing, because you've got all these things that are bad for dogs, like, you know, apparently onion is very bad for dogs, and Thompson has fed what's his name, Geo, fucking like veggie or vegan chili from a can that has onion in it. So not only is he depriving it of meat, but he's giving him stuff that could harm him, you know, because of his fucking beliefs, which, you know, I mean, fair play. Like, I am actually, I'm pretty much considering becoming vegan, because, like, health reasons, really. You know, according to my last health assessment, I'm a 41-year-old with the heart of a 62-year-old. So I need to make some changes, you know. And
how much meat do you eat then? Like,
huh?
How much sort of meat do you eat during the week? Like, how many times is like meat your main?
I mean, every dinner has meat. You know, I eat too much red meat. Like, I prefer chicken over most stuff. But I mean, I love my sausages, love my bacon. But yeah, no, like I'm eating too much red meat. But you know, like I've gone through like sort of vegetarian stints. You know, like I love my bean burgers and stuff. When I was a kid, I used to, you know, eat vegetarian and that, you know, quite a lot. But yeah, it's more, I mean, obviously, like, I love animals and stuff, you know, like, I've never really looked at it before. Like, I've sort of kept that out of mind, the fact that we're keeping them in shitty conditions and slaughtering them to eat. But now, you know, and it's horrible to say in a way that, you know, my drive now is my own selfish health reasons. It's not really for the animals.
Well,
but you know, I know a lot of people that have gone
secondary
vegetarian or vegan, and it's had fantastic things with their health.
I mean, I know this isn't like a vegan show. Oh, sorry, no, but I know this isn't like a vegan or, you know, vegetarian pro, or, you know, it's just come up in conversation. But like, what I can't understand is, say, when people just say stop buying meat that's come from abroad, start buying locally, which, yeah, I totally agree with. Like, you know, at least it's not traveled as far.
I think a lot of it is supporting your local shops as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but then, like, with that, you're also cutting off that person that you were buying the meat from, whether it's in New Zealand or, you know, it's only kind of helping your side of the problem, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's just like buy local,
out, isn't it?
Everybody's local where they are.
Yeah, I think buying local has become, I think, more important, you know, because of the pandemic. A lot of businesses have had to close because of it, especially a lot of the small, you know, like not chain stores, like privately owned little small businesses. So I think buying local is very important. Plus, you know, you go to your local butcher.
I do.
And I think it's better quality meat. Sometimes you're paying a little bit more for it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you're saying that you sort of feel bad that you're cutting off that, like you say, maybe New Zealand export.
Yes, I mean,
but they've
you
got,
know,
they've got their whole country buying their stuff too, most likely.
The thing with, you know, you'll kind of see like, oh, these broad beans were grown in Kenya or something like that. You know, and I think if Sainsbury's, Tesco's, Asda all suddenly were like, right, nobody wants beans from Kenya anymore. We don't care now. We just want them all grown in England. You know, what happens to those people that were relying on that in Kenya? Do you know what I mean? That's kind of my whole point. Is like,
they've got Kenyan buyers as well, but this is the thing, and this is why. And right, so I believe we have a moral responsibility to help other countries that are suffering, you know, through charities and stuff. But then I also believe that charity starts at home in some regards, you know. If it's supporting a local business for stuff like that, I'm completely for it. At the same time, you know, I you know, because some people say that, you know, you sort of ignore other countries' problems and focus on your own. I don't think the world would be a good place if it was like that. You know, I think that countries that have the ability to help, like the third world countries, that, you know, like you see these things where they're sending their young children fucking miles to go get, and it's not even fresh water, but it's the best water they can get for their area. damn right we should fucking help them, you know?
Especially because you can argue that it's the British's fault that they're in that sorry state to begin with, and the French and the Belgians and all of the colonizers who went over there and played. I don't know.
Don't forget the
I'm not even going
Dutch
to say play. They went over there and fucked up
Mm.
entire economies. And
I was watching a video last week, I think it was, and it was about the whole. I think it was Mark Rober, and he was talking about, different reasons for helping out other countries, and really, whether you're selfless or selfish, it makes sense to help out other countries. On the selfless side, you have the ability to help them. You should do it. On the selfish side, if you help a country out in that manner, you're fostering goodwill, and because eventually, like a country that's struggling, eventually they're gonna have enough of that, and they're gonna try their best to do something to change that. And sometimes that's where the violence comes from, and like fucking war and shit like that. So even from a selfish standpoint, it's good to help other countries out, But definitely from the selfless perspective, when you see these videos of these poor children that are dying from like fucking
cholera,
like measles, or what's the one?
Cholera is the waterborne one.
There's cholera and meningitis as well, isn't it? It's heartbreaking, and so damn right we should fucking help them.
Yeah, but if you see a country like Nigeria, you can try to help him, and you will always see the struggling in the country. But the struggling in the country is actually intern, and it's not much from the outside. Well, in the news you see from the outside with the oil and everything, but the oil pollution they have is because of the local villages destroying the pipelines. They won't tell you, but I saw it.
Yeah, sometimes the problems they're having are self-inflicted.
Yeah.
And it's hard, and it's tough. And like you say, like I do think charity in a lot of ways should start at home. Like I said, you got I like to support the local like Maker, like the UK sort of Make-A-Wish Foundation, and I think a lot of it is because my best friend's nephew, when we were growing up, he went through leukemia when he was 5, and I think that was a lot of it. And visiting him and seeing these young children in our country as well, that like seeing a 5-year-old who's had his head shaved because he's going through chemo and stuff like that, so I have to, I feel obligated to support local charities at least once a year, but then at the same time, I like to try and do at least a little something for other countries as well.
Where I live, they have it's now funny. There's a big problem with Lyme disease.
It's not my fault. Just put it out there.
No.
I did not create.
Lyme disease.
Yeah.
One thing I will say though, back to the point about like the pipelines in Nigeria, a lot of those villages are very angry because they weren't consulted about having a pipeline put straight through their lands. Like, it's really the oil companies. Even if the villagers are destroying the pipelines, it's an act of protest. Like, it is counterproductive and destroys their own space, but it's already ruined. Like, they've already had that disruption through Shell and all those companies regularly just dump oil into rivers and stuff accidentally.
Shell did a lot of bad things there, but they also offered the people jobs, but they didn't want to work for the money. They just wanted to get the money. That's also what I heard from the people who live there. But
maybe they didn't want to work because they didn't agree to that shit happening to the country. The thing is like you say, because
that's strange.
I think it would depend who you talk to. It's probably impossible to ever know the whole story. because everyone's going to have a different view. But yeah.
But that country
it's the
is
same thing
on
with
my
England.
no-no
You know,
list.
like,
I'm not going there anymore.
It's the same thing with England. You know, you get a lot of people that complained, like with foreigners coming to and taking our jobs. Those jobs were available because a lot of these English people would rather fucking stay with their benefits and not take the jobs. So why the fuck are they complaining when someone who wants to work actually comes over to do it?
Yeah, I mean, like it's that whole argument. It's like, yes, Jeremy, you with your 3 teeth and meth addiction are stopping Sajid from Pakistan, who's a registered doctor, from coming over and being a doctor here and helping people. Yes, he's taken your job. That's correct.
Yeah,
that's
and a lot of them, like they appreciate the opportunity. When I worked construction, like we, I worked with a lot of like Polish. Our carpenter team was all Polish guys, and they were the hardest fucking workers I've ever seen. So damn right we should fucking give them some jobs, like they're willing to come over and do it. So yeah, it's not stealing jobs, it's taking jobs that people over here didn't want to fucking do,
Yeah.
So
that's it.
I mean, fuck you, Kip. I don't know much about politics, but I'll definitely have a fucking triggered rant about those cunts at some point.
Yeah.
I think I'm a globalist. I don't know if that's a word, but like I don't know. Just like take the borders away.
Right.
I just honestly
we're all one fucking species. So why not fucking work as a team? I almost wish we had a fucking Independence Day style alien invasion, because that would probably bring the fucking world together as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the problem is people always need hate, so they need to hate another country or they hate something else. So if you got aliens, then we can hate the aliens and the world will come together.
Yeah. And that won't happen. That's a very good point, Tony Captain. I don't think that will ever happen until the whole world has to fight against another planet. And then we will realise we're all one team. Do you know what I mean? Because then there's another team.
Either that or the Star Trek scenario will happen where like humanity obliterates like 3/4 of the population of the world, and then we'll realize, oh wait, maybe we shouldn't kill each other anymore. And I mean, in that universe, by 1996 they'd had World War III, which had nuclear exchanges and a eugenics war where they created super soldiers, a la Khan. But still, it's one of those things that humanity could probably find peace, but it's going to take one massive conflagration of explosives to do it.
I hate conflict, but if the military could turn me into the Incredible Hulk, I'd go for it. That would be awesome. So
I don't exist according to the military. So.
What'd you say, Did?
I don't exist according to the military.
He's a super spy.
Okay.
But this is why our community works together so well, because we are all on the flat earth offensive.
I was very lucky that when I had to get enlisted, they forgot to send me the message. So I got it a month after I had to get enlisted. And
so
because
a clerical
the government don't make mistakes, they just erased my existence, and I got the letter to prove it.
Nice, yeah. So a clerical error has basically turned you into a super spy.
Well, it's a pacifist dream, and I'm actually a pacifist. So,
dude, if you don't exist, do you think you could just pick a country and take up?
No, I exist. Only I don't exist according to the military.
So were you supposed to be? Do you usually have what's it called? When you have to kind of do
conscription,
national service.
Yeah, conscripted, possibly conscripted.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They forgot to actually send me the message, and when they sent me the message, it was already a month too late.
Nice.
So they actually corrected their mistake by just erasing me from their database.
Nice.
And sent me a letter.
Yeah.
Actually, a posted letter, a paper letter, with telling me that I did that.
It's like it's like a flat Earth tactic, isn't it? No, this doesn't work for us. Let's just erase it from our fucking mind. Let's just deny.
Well, I actually, do not exist according to the military. Well, fine for me. I'm a pacifist, so.
I think it was flat Earth, like effing peer review. I was talking to in one of my comment sections, and you know, we worked it out. Is the whole flat Earth step process is 1, try to debunk reality, always fail, and then 2 was deny its existence, 3 is ignore its existence, and then 4 is full on ad hominem attack. That's basically the flat Earth method that we came up with.
That's some good standpoints just there.
Yep.
Yeah.
It seems to work, you know, going through every interaction I've had, I think that's the method they choose.
I find it great how there's so many like, you know, globers or realists, but how, like, you yourself, you can see it. You can see how these flat earthers fall for it, the patterns they use. And, you know, it's funny how, you know, they say, oh, we see all the symbolism, we see this, we see that. But it is all such reversed onto themselves, isn't it? Like, you're indoctrinated.
It's all psychology.
Really, it's them. And it is. It literally is just reversed switch psychology. The way it can just, people just feel so empowered by it. And there's so many things, like, you just got to start saying they are against you. You know, we're in this together now, guys. And, you know, you say these words a few times and you've got them. And that's so sad.
Yeah. Oh, it's fucking interesting.
You guys want to know what actually put me in this group?
Do it.
Well, it was there's a religious group in the Netherlands that actually calls himself Jesus Lives, is now actually in politics. But they walked up to me, and one guy actually told me that my job was not possible to be real, because the earth was flat, and all I know how to navigate couldn't be real. So actually, half my life and my dad's life, so yeah, more or less all my life, couldn't be real. So what the fuck, do these people exist? So then because I always thought, people who believed in a flat earth was a joke. Was one classmate of mine joked about it constantly. He actually grew up with the guy, so I knew it was serious. But then I discovered that it was serious, that people believed in it. And then the first guy I actually saw on the internet was actually Jake, the asshole. What LimeyPlay said. That LimeyPlay never heard of. Was the first guy I saw.
What?
And I thought, what the fuck is going on? And then I looked further and actually, came across Team Skeptic first.
Yes,
and then,
he was one of the first people actually. Yeah, when I came back to reality, he was one of the first people I kind of cling to actually.
And then I came across Conspiracy Cats, and actually Simon Dam was one of 6th, 7th or something I came across.
Yeah, Simon Dan was my sort of route into the debunking world. before
He's
the
got a
gate
big
guy
part
as well.
to play, and
Yeah, I got in before
definitely.
the gate guy video as well. So
Did you?
Actually,
Yeah.
first debunking was Professor Dave.
Yes, that was where I got into it as well, because I was watching Professor Dave's educational stuff, and then his top 10 things flat earthers always say. His first like big debunking video came out, and it kind of caught my attention, and that's where I came into the community.
It might be a good point to put, a good time to point out that I did actually get to interview Simon Dan on my channel. If anyone has not seen that, I have converted the live stream to a shorter video because the live stream had a lot of technical difficulties. Of course, I get to fucking interview one of my idols because he's my hero. He's the reason I decided to start debunking, and my fucking internet played up like a bastard. But no, fair play to him. He stuck around. He hosted my channel for quite a while I was fixing shit. And he's a great guy. Really good guy.
He could have quite easily bailed, actually, couldn't he? He could have
That's
just
what
been
I was worried about.
Isn't working. And he's a legend, Mr. Starman Dan. I know people think we just, we kind of brown nose him a little bit, but A, you're going to, but B, he is a legend. Like, he's a really nice guy.
I go proper fangirl when he's about, but he actually subscribed to my channel when I was on your stream. Remember, he came in the chat, and then he subscribed to my channel, and I turned into a fucking teenage girl. It was amazing.
The funny thing is, dude, you actually did that for me as well. I think, like, if Simon Dan hadn't have joined the stream, you might have remembered it, but of course, he's now got all the plaudits. I'm only joking, mate. But honestly, if you watch that back, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm talking to you, dude. And then fucking Simon Dan came along, took all my glory away. And I'm only joking.
Yep.
I'm only joking.
No, it was good, man, because you've been one of my idols for a long time as well. I would say that, I mean, Simon Dan was the first one that I watched, so he sort of got me into it. But I decided to start debunking because of people like him, Conspiracy Cats, and then when I got introduced to your channel, actually seeing that someone can get brought back to reality, you were a huge part of it as well, and the fact that we've become really good friends from it is amazing to me. It's awesome.
Like. Yeah, I mean, we're literally on WhatsApp, isn't we? Do you know what I mean? Like,
we have fucking random drunk chats, and dude, it's fucking epic. You're I probably talk to you more than anyone else besides my mum.
And the funny thing is, I probably talk to anyone else besides your mum as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm only joking, mate. I'm only joking.
Actually,
I know.
The first friend and who joined my Discord server was actually MC Toon.
Nice.
Wow.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's good.
Was the first one.
That's amazing. That's lovely when you get them.
Any of them on my Discord.
MC Toon's such a legend, actually. Like
his website is phenomenal for info. Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. It really is.
Yeah. He backs his stuff up, doesn't he? He's not. I'm not being funny. I think there's quite a few creators out there, all getting controversial, but they're not really probably doing as much as people like say MC Toon, but he doesn't get anywhere near as much exposure. And it's a little bit sad sometimes, actually, isn't it? When you kind of see, but I know he's obviously completely happy with what he's doing. He's got an amazing channel there. He's got over 10,000 subscribers and it's still growing. His subscriber base is growing. So, but like, I definitely sort of look at him and I just think, oh mate, like, it will only take something where his channel could just suddenly just blow, I think,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he is
guy out of retirement.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Like Simon Dan, guy. I think MC Toon is the fucking resident authority on, the 5G conspiracy. And MC Toon put someone undercover with that fucking dude. Where I can't remember his fucking name.
Oh yeah,
But
we have.
There was a couple of
yeah.
videos
Sorry, guys.
where he was.
We
It
do
was
have.
brilliant.
Sorry, Limey, mate. We do have BB in the chat,
Who the fuck's
he. Well, hopefully we can find out. But
Ball
you
breaker.
haven't answered me for a second debate. I need to sort that out, mate. You're actually welcome to just join the stream right now. There is a link in the description, but I'm going to try and set up a debate between BB and Bullet Bill. And BB is concerned.
BB and BB.
Yeah, BB and BB. But BB, who is not Bullet Bill, but is BB, is concerned about basically COVID. I don't think he's a COVID denier, but he does not like the way it has been dealt with, etc., etc. So he's got varying opinions. So, mate, there's a link. I'm going to end the stream at midnight, so you've got 20 minutes if you want to join now. I didn't ignore your emails, mate. I'm very busy. I know you did email me, but I've been so busy that I can't even host a debate because I know that, like you say, you want one in the AM, and I can't do it because I'm working during the day. So that's why I haven't replied, buddy. It's not because I'm ignoring you. It's because I can't do it. But you're welcome to jump on now, or I'll try and arrange a debate. But 11 AM is difficult for me unless it's the weekend. And then at the weekend, I don't want to be hosting a debate because it's my weekend off at 11 AM. But like, if you can try and do it a little bit later.
20 to midnight here, BB.
Yeah.
Sorry, he was asking the time. If that's his stance, is that he's not necessarily a denier, but doesn't think it's been dealt with properly.
No, he's definitely not a denier. That's what I mean. I want,
yeah, I think every
fucking.
Well, not every country, maybe, but definitely us and like the United States, the fucking politicians have handled it fucking horribly. I'd agree with that completely.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit more than that. I mean, there's certainly, I don't know. It's not just that. I don't know enough to actually personally one-on-one debate him, actually, but Bullet Bill does because he's got that biology degree and, he knows what he's talking about properly. But I'd more than welcome him on the stream right now and just have a casual chat. He did debate Bullet Bill before, which I hosted, and he was, a nice guy, not like your usual flat earther, not being funny. He would listen to what people were saying, but he also did have his own opinion.
The problem that we have with the way COVID was handled is that it was very much handled in a way that was built around protecting the interests of businesses and not people.
Yeah.
I am unashamedly some form of socialist. Like, I don't believe that capitalism is in any way doing good for us anymore. It never really did if you weren't your average white middle class male in America. But it's just like, without getting too deep into that, it's just like the governments wanted to keep the economy running for as long as possible before shutting down, and the result of that was longer shutdowns. When you have a country like New Zealand, which isn't perfect, but they locked down hard for 6 weeks the second they started getting cases, and they were back to normal a year before the rest of us were even getting close. Like that's the thing. Like, there's a right way to handle things like that, and putting businesses first in any sense, but especially in a pandemic that's airborne and highly virulent, is irresponsible and dumb.
We've just got Jose and
you're muted.
Like my pussy have joined as well.
What if you're walking in a dark alley and just a dude like me, like just standing in there, like creepy with big eyes?
You look scary, man.
On you.
I'm not gonna lie, Jose. You look scary, bruv. Like, I wouldn't want to see you in a dark alleyway, man. Like,
I am the living example of a first experience can lie, can trick you big time. I'm a very people's person. I'm very lovable, and I engage with every single person that I come across, like in lines in the gas station or going to the shops, and I'm really nice to everybody. Now they like see me coming, and they like go to the side and go like, "Yeah, how you doing? You know, you having a great day? Yeah, nice, you know." And they like, "Oh, all right, impressive."
You say my daughter
That
is
would not go
the
down well in the
debunker of
UK.
that when she was young, because she trusted all bikers and all people in leather clothes and everything and long beards, but she was scared of people in nice suits and well shaved. So
UK, if you're out walking about in certain areas, you just don't make eye contact, because just looking someone in the eye is enough to start a fight sometimes.
I heard that.
But
I seen that.
even like people here just don't really like in America. Like, as someone who has been to America quite a bit, because that's where I was born, lived for 2 years, and then moved here when I was 2 with parents. Like growing up here and then going back to America every summer pretty much for those years, the difference in culture between like how people interact here and there is so different. Like everyone you come to, and especially small town America, is like so friendly. Like everyone will talk to you. You see somebody that you vaguely know and you'll stand and just talk away in town, and then you come back here, and especially in Belfast, it's everybody's just looking down. Nobody interacts if you don't know the people. It's a weird culture shock. Although there's other reasons why in Northern Ireland we don't communicate with each other very much.
Now I tell you something. I went to Puerto Rico. I visited back home. I'm born and raised in Puerto Rico. I lived there for 30 years of my life. I've been here for 16 years in the United States. But I mean, Puerto Rico is like a ghetto, giant ghetto. You know, like we call it ghetto over here. Harsh. You know, they're harsh and drugs and transactions, and could be stealing and killing everything, right? Like everywhere in Puerto Rico. I was so for 30 years since I was born in the school, in the public school, where we're poor people living in the projects and shit. It was so easy, but every time that I went back 2 years after I came to the United States, and I felt a little uneasy walking in some of the places and hanging and visiting my friends. It looked so different because over here in the United States it's so much free and open, and I mean there's not much like the harshness. I don't know, over there it's too crowded and everybody kind of know each other. When I went last year, dude, I felt freaked out. I didn't want to walk by myself in the street. I didn't want to like everything locking everything up, like so looking behind my back, because I know how Puerto Ricans are, you know. So I don't know. I didn't feel comfortable. It's weird. I should. I mean, I can walk in here in any of the like hard parts of the United States, in harsh streets and the ghettos and the black communities. You know, sometimes depends what it is. And I feel okay, comfortable. You know, they kind of looking at me and trying to come in groups or whatever. Oh, what's up, man? Just passing through, just mind your own business, let me be, or whatever. Where in Puerto Rico is, I don't know, the new generation took over, the younger than me, and there's no respect with those. When I was a kid, the older generation than me, that are now my parents, my uncles, those were very respectful, you know, the ones running the streets. When I grew up, the ones like me, my generation, in their 30s or whatever, they were okay, you know, they kind of, if they needed to take somebody out, they might have take that person out, but maybe one or two go as a side quest. But today, the young kids, if they see you in a group of 10 and they need to take one out, they take all of the 10 out. So I didn't feel comfortable with that, the way they're running, the way the island is running now. I don't know. Weird.
It's the same thing over here now. Like the younger generations have no respect for their elders whatsoever. And I don't know. I mean, obviously, you know, my generation, you respect your elders. I mean, you basically, well, you respect your parents, you respect your mum more than your dad, kind of, you know, because you feel like you protect them, I guess. But yeah, the younger generation now, there's no respect. No, you know what I mean? I think it's because you're not allowed to fucking spank your kids, you know? If I was disrespectful, like when I was around with my nan and granddad, if I finished my meal and I didn't put my knife and fork together, as is, you know, etiquette, manners, I got a fucking whack up the head. And you know what? I think that was a good thing because it taught me to be respectful and kind of, kind of follow traditions as well.
The thing I'll say from like the other side is that young people are incredibly angry at the way that we're being kind of ignored. Like that's why you get people like Greta Thunberg who came out with like those like speeches at the UN and stuff where she's like, you are not listening to what we are saying. You will not be here in 20 years or 30 years when we are dealing with climate change that you refuse to do anything about. Like there's a very real sense of like people who are older than us just aren't respecting us. Like it's a two-way street. I was brought up just to be respectful, and like I respect everyone equally no matter who they are, unless they give me a reason to disrespect them. And it's just one of those things that like people in that older generation, like my generation, just really angry and feeling like there's nothing left for us. Like that's why like most of my friends, none of us want kids, none of us want to have families or anything. We can't afford to have families.
You don't want to bring them into this world.
Yeah, and it's just like it's really, really difficult to kind of. I think that's always been there. There's always like those kinds of subcultures that'll sort of push back against the older generation. I think somebody mentioned that there, but like this time it's like the entire generation is basically kicking off.
Lot of a bigger movement.
Try something. Anybody that have kids, try something. Grab a piece of paper and give it to younger than 20 years old kids, and with a pencil or a pen, and dictate something. Just tell them a poem or something. Start writing there. They can barely write today, since for the last 15 or 20. Anybody 15 years old,
you mean like writing by hand?
They cannot.
Yeah, that's a lost art. Most schools now, they don't teach cursive. They teach them to write one letter at a time.
And obviously, like the race is on now to like we need to change right now. But I think the massive emphasis does need to be put on the younger generations. There's so many people that you will not change their ways now. And I'm not even talking about pollution. I'm talking about racism, so much stuff. The only way to change it is the younger generations, where it's how these people are brought up. I'm not being funny, where
but a lot of it's leading by example,
Yes, it is. Yeah, and that's all we can do. Yes, that's what I mean. Like, I'm not saying we can just get
politicians that just care about the money. When you've got politicians that just care about the money, they know they're going to be fucking dead when the world's gone to shit. They don't care about the fucking pollution, So, and that's the problem is we've got world leaders that don't give a shit. They just, as long as they're rich and comfy while they're alive, fuck everyone else, and that's why, again, people, #Team Seas, let's fucking get 30 million pounds of plastic and other pollution out of the ocean.
Yeah, and those I think those Mark Robo robots are going to keep running basically, and like for
they're not even his robots. They're so they're working with him, and Mr. Beast are working with the Ocean Conservancy. And the other one, I think it's the Ocean Conservancy that have created these robots, and they're designed to catch it, at the rivers before it goes into the sea. And even though it looks quite slow, it's like a conveyor belt thing, and it fills up these big units. But one of those picks more litter than, I think it's like more than fucking 30 people or something, And
can we just bring up legal Latino heat?
Latino heat. When you buy the championship,
I mean, welcome to the channel. I mean, what a get up!
Yeah.
Hello.
I want that fucking hat, dude. I want that hat.
How you doing, fellas?
I had a cowboy hat, gentlemen. I miss it.
A great conversation. I heard you guys talk about like the younger generation. I'm 36 years old. I'm legal Latino. I came to this country legally when I was 5 years old. I did things the right way.
What country are you in? Can I ask?
I'm in United States.
Okay, nice.
Where Biden is the president and
Yes.
Kamala is the vice president. And everything is about race over here and homosexuality over here. So that's why I'm legal Latino. I'm legal. I'm not one of the illegal ones that just ran through the border and just came right in.
Yeah.
So
You're a legal alien.
yeah, I came here the
Yeah.
right way. I waited.
Mhm.
But I heard you guys talking about like the younger generation is like has no respect. And have you noticed like since like
Not all.
1960, like the divorce rate started going up?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And why is that, right? Like why led to that? Like what was the push? What was the
I
propaganda?
don't even know. Like my grandparents. So over here in the UK, when you celebrate your 50th wedding anniversary, you get like an official letter from the Queen and all this stuff. Finding a couple, even in my generation, and I'm 41, that are going to be married for that long is next to fucking impossible. You know, I don't know if a lot of them got married younger because of the war going on and stuff like that. But I think the mentality back then was, you know, you've made a commitment and you stick with it, and family is fucking important, you know.
The thing is with sorry.
No, carry on.
I was gonna say a lot of it is that the way that marriage was in the past was very much like it was a woman's place to be put in the kitchen and to do all the housework and everything. We can't do that anymore. Like families can't operate like that because it's way too expensive to run a household. Women have to go out and work. And while I don't think I think women should be out working, and I would consider myself like intersectional feminist or whatever. Like basically, feminism needs to happen. It's good. It's objectively a good thing.
Good save, Noah.
It needs to be like interlocked with everything else. Like it needs to be interlocked with race, with class, with all of that stuff that you talk about in sociology. It's one of those things that like. But because of that, that's why the divorce rate is going up, because people don't have time to build strong relationships.
Yeah.
So relationships that would have worked aren't working out the way that they could have if it was still like your American dream 1950s household with male leader of the house and everything.
And social
but
media.
then
Social media. OnlyFans.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I kind of agree with that. Like, I was fortunate enough when I was in the States and I was married that I was making enough where, and actually I met her, she worked where I worked. But you know, like when she got sick, I was fortunate enough to be earning enough that I could support, you know, me, her, and her daughter. And I think you're right. Like that's, you know, because I knew that, like, because when we met, we worked different shifts and stuff like that. But when she wasn't working, you know, I'd go to work, but she's always going to be there when I come home. And I think, that fostered a fantastic relationship. I think, the fact that, like you say now, a lot of households cannot survive unless both the husband and the wife or you know, whatever relationship, that both of the partners have to be working a lot of the time.
And who raises the kid? Who raises the kid now?
A lot of the time, the kids are getting raised in fucking
public schools,
daycare, and public
indoctrination camps. You know.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you're absolutely right.
Problem. For me, for us, I'm married. Actually, my wife is 13 years younger than me, so she's still studying.
Yeah.
I got also a 13-year. I also got a 13-year old daughter. So do the math.
Nice.
But my wife was a teenage mother, and every time I'm home, I'm 100% taking care of them. When I'm not at home, my wife, because I live on an island, my daughter has to go to the school to the mainland. My wife goes a few days to the mainland to actually take care of my daughter because she's too young. My daughter has respect for all people. She's Yeah. That's it all. And she also has respect for all genders and everything. She doesn't she doesn't see in gender, and she doesn't see in race or color. She is like me. She sees them as all persons. Just
That's a
don't see the
conspiracy,
difference.
actually. Is
And
a
the
lot of
best thing
conspiracy
is,
theories. Oh no, mate. Sorry, I cut you off. You carry on.
and the best thing is, she also doesn't choose to be just a girly girl. Her biggest wish is to be a math teacher.
DJ.
So, no, a math teacher. Math teacher.
Math teacher.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Nice.
So yeah, that's pretty cool for a girl.
Over here in America, is designed for the woman to be alone, not to be with the man, because they give her free health care. With the father, you get free rent, Section 8. Then you get child support. So it's designed that way, like for the parents not to stay together. And that's kind of sad. I was fortunate enough to grow up with both of my parents. And a lot of kids nowadays don't even have both parents or even, one.
What you think is obviously physically? Do you think it's physically designed to separate parents?
Yeah, like I do a morning show, and I went back all the way to like 1963s. Like you see the Beatles start coming now, the groovy, and all this other stuff, these movies, and then feminism, and then you started the divorce rate just go up, 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 and then usually the females that divorce the man usually, because the guys, the guys usually working outside overtime. A female wants attention. The guy always has to be working to provide for the family, and who comes around, right? The milkman, the post guy, whatever things like that back in the days. Same thing with army, with marriages, right? People that went to the army, you get deployed for 6-9 months, and then you want what is your wife doing? Females need attention.
You're still talking about the guys only working.
At the time, with the 60s, we're back in the 60s. What led to like the divorce rate? That's when we're going back to like the beginning. Why are people just getting divorced? I blame most of social media now. You see OnlyFans. Good luck finding a female that hasn't been on OnlyFans or has been on Instagram. Good luck.
Dude, that's a bit of a rash claim. No, there's loads of women that have never been
honestly,
on
like, like
and in the
OnlyFans.
60s, my mother had a job.
No, but now we're like 2021. Like after the Kim Kardashian, all the girls want to look like Kim Kardashian now. When did Kim Kardashian come out? Like 2008, 9?
No, I mean, I'm with you.
Just had a stream about stuff like this.
That's a huge overgeneralization. That's just not right. I'm just going to say that it's not right. It's like, as someone who is in that younger generation right now, like most of the women who are my age and a little bit younger, they don't really want to look like one of those celebrities. Like that's just not really a thing that happens.
That's the generation that skips. So I'm in that generation that has the pink hair, with the earrings and the nose and the.
Hey, I had pink hair for all of October, man.
I'm glad I met you in November. Then I mean, I'm glad.
Hey, it's almost gone. It's almost gone. Now it's going to be the Bond.
Latino hat. Maybe it's in the area where you live in, but.
Yeah, that's what I was going to think. It might be quite localized. But yeah,
Texas,
I mean, I see it. I definitely see it. Like there is a certain percentage of people that are going down that route, but I wouldn't label like most young women or anything, because I definitely like to see it with my nieces. Most of those are not going down that path of like, I must look this way, or I must
in America.
do that.
From what I've seen here in America, that's what I'm talking about. America.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen public school fights? Have you seen the American public school system?
I mean, America's just another world, though, isn't it? Like,
have you seen the crimes in New York City? You have young people beating up 65-year-olds. Look up New York City crimes on Twitter. All you see is a young generation, 20-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 16-year-olds in gangs, because we all have to wear a mask. I mean, we're in New York. I'm originally from New York. I left that place. It's disgusting. I'm in Texas where I can walk around with a gun here. I'm safe, you know. New York, you're just left for dead in the street. People are just robbing older folks. They see an older folk coming out of the bank, a group of young kids just going robbing. Videos all over the place. Check it out on Twitter.
I mean, I'm sure that
Yeah,
there's like the videos that you
it.
see on Twitter. That there's like maybe you might get a few hundred videos, but like the city is like what 24 million people in the greater New York area. Like there's
13 million, and that's not
13
even
million.
counting like illegals, you know. And
But
only 1 million people voted in this past week's mayor election. So out of 11 million, only 1 million voted in that city. So that city's full of zombies, people on welfare. Listen, I'm from there. I speak from what I see. You know, some place of the world looks different. Look who's our president, Joe Biden. He got 85 million votes. Do you really think 85 million of us voted for that man? Think about that.
Yes. They've proven it over and over and over.
Over and over again.
Yeah, like
I think you're making some
Donald Trump lost Georgia 3 times. He lost states 3 times or twice in the same election. Like they just came back with the ballot count by that they called the recount in Arizona. They came back. It was Trump funded. A company they handpicked called Cyber Ninjas of all things, and they came back. And we're like, yeah, actually, Biden won Arizona by more votes than we thought. It's just like there was no like voter fraud to the extent that Trump would like. And the times that there have been fraud cases, they had like some ballots thrown out in Pennsylvania, I think, for being fraudulent, and it was three votes for Trump were thrown out for being fraudulent. And it's like that's the only example of fraud this year that isn't like some batshit conspiracy theory peddled by Rudy Giuliani, who is, quite frankly, probably should be institutionalized at this point. Like if you look at him go, it's just like to think that man was the one who was America's mayor 10, 15 years ago. Like that's kind of, I've said my piece.
Where are you from, Noah? Where are you from?
I was born in Seattle, but I live in Northern Ireland and have for 20 years. So I've grown up here. But I vote. I'm a voter in the States. Mm-hmm.
Ireland. What's the demographics in Ireland?
Demographics.
There's people there.
Yes, and the British would have rather that there weren't.
There's
I need to ask a question first.
I'm trying to listen. Huh? What were you saying?
Sorry.
What's the demographics of Ireland? That's what you asked. What's the demographics of the United States? Where's the majority? Mostly white. This percentage is Hispanic. This percentage is black. What's the demographics in Ireland?
Incredibly white. Like I could Google it here. I think it's like 88% white at this point. But like cities will have more. Like Dublin, you'd get a lot of multiculturalism. Belfast, it's still getting there because Belfast is stuck in the 1960s when it comes to a lot of cultural stuff. But yeah, it's majority white. We're actually about to get our census result. Mm-hmm.
So it's safe, correct?
Not really, no. Again, I live in Northern Ireland where if you're Catholic or Protestant in the wrong area, you get blown up.
Like, no, I just said white people commit crime too. Like,
yeah, like we still have a crime rate, and we have, I mean, in Northern Ireland, we have the paramilitaries who are like basically what you'd refer to in the States as gangs. Like they're the IRA on the nationalist side, the Irish nationalist side, and the UDA, the UVF, there's so many. It's like the Ulster Defence Army, the Ulster Defence Force, all of these loyalist paramilitaries, and they've like divided up the cities in Northern Ireland into like their sections where they deal the drugs, and if you deal drugs in the wrong place, you get shot. But if you're dealing drugs for the right paramilitary, you're fine. Like it's that kind of organized crime, and it's all over the place here. So it's not like, and then it's all white people. Like no, on both sides, no like ethnic minorities would ever get anywhere near those paramilitaries, because the loyalist ones specifically are very racist, and the Republican ones, they have their own issues. They're not racist because their whole thing is like being inclusive of everyone who lives in Ireland, but you still don't want to be associated with them. So yeah, it's in the north where I live. It's very much a dangerous place if you go into the wrong area and say the wrong things to the wrong people. So it's, yeah, that's kind of the situation. The south is a different story. They just have your regular drug gangs where people get shot and stabbed for dealing drugs anywhere, because they're encroaching on each other's turf and whatever. So yeah, it's really not something you can chalk up to race. It's people will deal drugs and be criminals anywhere.
No, yeah, good shout. So what is your channel all about then? Legal Latino Heat. Well, actually, I want to ask one question. What is that belt behind you?
Oh, it's a replica from the Attitude Era WWE replica, back from that 1999.
I always want one of them.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I talk about different stuff, everything that goes around, like current events. That big concert where 8 people died last week, at the Travis Scott concert. Things like that happen in America. Things like that usually. I don't really cover outside of America. That's why I asked where you guys are from. I heard the accent. I like to learn from other places. I like to hear both sides. I'm not just closed-minded, la 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 la. I like to listen. I ask questions. I see people in the chat attack right away, especially the people with the pink hair. They get really upset. And I hope Charlie joins the chat because he said he wants to come at me. Come at me, Charlie. Don't talk. Be about it. All talk in the chat. Come on. The StreamYard is right there. Join up. You know, I'm not the type to just be combative and argue. I'm not about that. Listen, I like to have conversations. We talk. We're all adults here. Right? We're men here, right? We're men. We're not females.
We have
we're not gonna have our
sorry.
Opinions, but
the sexism, the sexism is unnecessary. Like,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a man. I'm sorry. I grew up in the 90s.
Stereotyping and sexism.
I'm sorry, man. I don't know how you guys are born over there, but I'm from New York. I keep it real, man. You know, if you guys are gonna be like this, stop, then you know what? I'm not a stop and go guy. You know what? I like to keep it real and talk. I thought this was conspiracy talk. You know, we talk.
Yeah, it still is, but.
Right. Well, he's gone.
He's gone. I've deleted him. He's off.
Yeah, I don't like the sexism and stereotyping.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm not having that.
We're going to show that comment. Like that was, he was getting like pushing it, and then like he came out with the Biden conspiracy, and I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I was like, so yeah, that was. Also, that point that just came up there, statistics show that in recent years, divorce rates are actually going down in the USA and UK. That's partially because people aren't getting married as much, I think. But it's like, if we go back to that, like if we circle back to that entire point, like it's a non-issue. Like shitty parents existed even when they were married. Like there were still kids who were brought up wrong by two very well-meaning, well, not very, very like two parents who did not mean well in that sense. Like they, it's just one of those things that it's very much. Let's see. Let's just. Okay. So he's going. Yeah, he's a troll. Let's put him into a timeout. And but yeah, it's like single parents aren't the problem. It's the education system and in general, like social issues that are causing friction between different generations. And I would go as far as to say that it is the government who are propagating this, because the more they split us up, the less likely it is we'll be able to come together as one cohesive force and, I mean, either vote them out or, yeah, like I was saying, vote them out or sort of even rise up in like an actual revolution if it got to that point. Like if, say, the Tories went full authoritarian and just were like, yes, we are now the government, no more opposition. Like, the more they split us up, the less we'll be able to get what we need, if that makes sense. I kind of rambled there because I'm tired, but
no, do you not think though? Sorry, with politics though, do you not think it's the biggest problem is it's a short-term thing? Governments are on a short-term contract with the people. If you know, every 5 years, and they can get chucked out again. So they're not thinking about much of what's going to happen in the future. All they're worried about is the current, present time that they're in government. And until we can move beyond that, it's always going to be the same.
Yeah, and that's why I would actually heavily advocate for like age limits on being politicians. Like, you make all politicians have to be age 50 or below. So you cut out like a bunch of really old people making decisions for a generation, like making big decisions which they won't have to face the consequences of, which might sound ageist, but I would fully support that. Like, I think politics should be run by people who will have to face the consequences of their actions, which would also mean like you'd have to remove rich people from politics and money, because that, like, especially in America, like the way that lobbying works over there is it's real, like it's legal corruption in that sense. Like, you can just go to a politician and say, here's $500 million, or yeah.
I know what I was going to say was, like, I think you know, that kind of statement of like nobody above 50. I don't agree with that. But I think there definitely needs to be more emphasis on the youth and the people that will be living the life of, if you know what I mean. It's almost like, say, in football or something where you've got a younger manager, but they often bring in someone with a bit of experience and, you know, someone that does know a little bit more. So I do think, obviously, you know, because the people that are 50, they were 20 at one point. You know, they lived through that whole life, so that experience of that probably has given them the wrong ideas and wrong impressions. But also, you can't just, in my opinion, blanket out like, oh, you're over this age, so you can't now have an influence on our future. Because
what you could arrange a government. Yeah, what you could do is you could arrange a government where you kind of have, like, I mean, this is just spitballing at this point, but you could have like even two houses within the government where, like, it's like a House of Commons and then a House of whatever, like elders or something, and the politicians who are over the 50 age limit could be in the House of Elders and could have, like, the way the House of Lords kind of regulates the House of Commons. You could still let them have an impact, but you let the younger generations make the policy and just have it signed off by the elders and have them like look over it and see whether they kind of think it's a good idea or not. There's ways you could work it, and the reason, like, I wouldn't normally say, oh yes, let's just have a hard limit, but my experience is that those older politicians don't care. Like, they're being paid their wage and they're going to get the money no matter what. So why should they listen to anyone? Because
did those politicians start out as the politicians that you're looking at that are younger exactly the same? Do you know what I mean? Do they get swallowed up by this so-called system, you know, as they're growing? You know, it's kind of one of those things where I don't, you know, when people go, oh, politicians are all this, all that. Of course they're not. You know, 99% of those people have really good intentions, and, you know, but at the end of the day, you know, if everyone's got a kind of price, and I definitely think there's people that have done certain things, haven't they? Where you look into it and they're directors of companies, and there's one, and there's things that go on. Yeah.
I mean, like one of the biggest ones that I've looked at, my like kind of like interest is with public transit and infrastructure. Like that's what, if I start a YouTube channel, that's what it'll be on. It'll be on like trains and stuff, all that. But Dr. Beeching, who did the Beeching cuts in the 60s, was it 60s, 50s and 60s, I think, where they shut down like thousands of miles of rail in the UK that was unprofitable, held like a majority stake in a road building company. And it's just like, that's why like money and companies and everything that should not be in politics. Like you should have to declare, I mean, you do technically have to declare all those conflicts of interest, but they still exist, and money is going to cause people to be corrupt. Like that's just how money works, how capitalism works.
Yeah. This always makes me laugh, so I've got to bring this one up by BB Truth. It's boring in here. Well, not boring enough for you to leave a comment. So, obviously,
it's so boring. He carries on watching. To leave comments.
Yeah, just click onto something else. I'm sure there's something better out there. YouTube's a big place. We're just having a little chat, you guys. Just having a little chat between some friends. And that's all it is. We're not trying to, change the world. Just talk about it and what we can maybe change ourselves. So, F off, basically.
But yeah, that's kind of what I was, or what I would say is like money in politics is terrible, and that's the bottom line. Like it just, the second you have the ability to just buy politicians, you lose any kind of like credibility and what's the word, integrity. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on money.
I'm going to bring up one last topic and then we're going to end it. This stream has been going for 3 hours and 30 minutes. So it's like getting towards quite a large percentage of a whole day. So, yeah. But no, I love it. I absolutely love it. And so glad for anyone that has joined and that is still watching as well. But this last little topic, because we're talking about, economics, politics, did anyone here, and I know that Noah has got an opinion on Elon Musk, but did anyone hear about his £6 billion pledge, where he said basically he would give that to the kind of the World Health Organization or something along those lines, where if they could come up with a plan where this money would be spent properly, but then, other people are saying, that would last, maybe 6 months.
The organization, the organization itself that donated, or that he was going to donate to, came out and said, this is really not good. Like this isn't going to help us that much. It's like basically like virtue signaling almost, where he was like saying, oh, well, I'll solve world hunger with $6 billion. And it's like, that's not how world hunger works.
Yeah. It still helps, but it doesn't help as much as he said.
Yeah, like that was the thing. He was, if he just come out and said, "Oh, I'm going to sell $6 billion of Tesla stock and I'm going to donate it to a hunger charity," fair enough. I'm not going to say no to that. That's a objectively good thing. But he came out and like made a thing about saying, "I'm going to solve world hunger," and that was the thing where I was like, "No, you're not." World hunger.
Isn't that all tied in with a pending tax bill that he might be receiving soon as well? Has it all got something to do with that as well? Did I read or hear?
Possibly. I haven't heard that before, but
he put out, I think it's up to people.
Is it one of them donations to, like, for a write-off? Is that what you're
It
saying?
could
Then?
be.
I think if
Yeah,
you have
that he gets less.
shares, he doesn't have to pay so much tax or something like that.
That's I think that's the main reason most big companies do charity
I
donations.
just thought the back end of the story on the radio the other day. I might be completely wrong, but I'm sure this whole thing with Musk is about ultimately going to be about how much tax he pays in a few months' time. But
the thing is,
stand to be corrected.
What I will say is, like, he's in a lot of shit right now, because the FAA are reevaluating his Boca Chica spaceport plan, because he's built like a load of stuff there that he shouldn't have built, and now wants to build a petrochemical plant on a nature reserve with like some incredibly rare endangered species.
Right.
The Falcon Super Heavy, the really tall, thin rocket with the Starship on top.
Yeah.
They've basically done simulations of that, and they say that if that thing explodes when they try to launch it the first time, it's going to cause damage to Mexico, like Mexican villages, which are already very poor. But the place, like the site where he's chosen to build it, is just really stupid and bad. And like he should have just found a space on like the East Coast, because that's where space launches are good, because you can launch straight out over the Atlantic and you have this massive window.
I thought that's where they all launched for anyway. I didn't realise he was building launch pads in Mexico or whatever.
He's built it like, so you know how like Texas kind of comes around like this and then goes down towards Mexico? It's right in that, like the little bit before you get to Mexico. It's like 12 miles from the border. And the Falcon Super Heavy, if it blows up, it will obliterate the nature reserves that are all around this spaceport. There's a really good Cosmic Sense skeptic video, or Common Sense skeptic. I'll get the link, where he basically breaks it down and is like, this is awful. But yeah, like, what were we even talking about?
Sorry, there was space comma came up and it just took me over. Like
Space comma. Space comma.
Conspiracy cats ain't in the chat. Fucking hell. There'd be murders. He covets his fucking his grammar.
But it kind of like, we see it so often that I think almost to us even, you don't notice it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I actually just read that as a normal sentence. Yeah. And then
to
actually,
be fair, has Cat's got a space comma t-shirt? Because if not, he really fucking
yes.
I've literally got one. Yeah. That's the only t-shirt I've got of another creator. Yes. It's got like the Conspiracy Cats logo on it. And space comma.
And space comma. Oh, fucking nice.
Yeah. Got to be done. Yeah. I think we're going to end the stream pretty soon, guys. It's been going pretty well.
Yeah, I only plan to come on for a fucking couple of Guinnesses, and I'm like 6 in now.
Yeah.
It was nice to be on one of your streams this time.
Oh, mate. Thanks so much for bloody joining, mate. That's what I always see you in the comment section. So it's really good to see people jumping on, and just seeing the face. And I know obviously you do make some content as well. So I think everyone should go and check Tiny Captain out. It's always good when like a new little creator jumps on. And yeah, anyone who hasn't, go over and
I've been in the background a little bit longer, but LimeyPlay knows about it.
Good. I'll bid you all good evening then, or good morning now.
Thanks for coming on, Andy. It's good to see you, mate.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. I'll be checking out your channels, and you may see me again at some point.
Yes, mate. Always welcome. Always welcome along. Good to see you,
guys.
mate. Thanks for joining, buddy.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So we'll just go round. We'll go round the table. So I'll leave Limey, our main guest, till last. I know Tiny Captain did have a few words, but do you want to say anything else, mate?
Yeah. Well, I have a small channel, and I always was busy in the background, and Limey there knows about it, and we did the whole thing for Irish Demon. We started that about together. So it's together with what was his name? From
Well, I love Irish Demon for starters. Sorry, I just had to mention that.
I've posted your channel link in the chat, Tiny Captain. So
thank you.
People should definitely check it out. Some fucking quality stuff on there.
Yeah, I can't put on all the time because my job, of course.
It makes you a rare delicacy, mate. You know.
Yeah.
Nah,
love I'm still a real captain, and that's why I can't debunk flat earthers, because I use navigation.
Yes,
that's perfect. You know, real experts. You know, you are an expert within navigation. You use it day-to-day life since 1999.
And flat earthers still don't trust you.
Oh, mate, thanks so much for jumping on. And everyone that hasn't, check out Tiny Captain, whether you're watching live now or if somehow you're watching as a repeat and you have got 3 hours and 45 minutes into the stream. If you have, wow, leave a comment. The word, I don't know, banana. And if someone does, I'm going to send you some bloody, I don't know, something, because you'll be amazing. And you'll really help the message spread. No, because I know you were here, Limey. I don't work like that.
You don't. Might have been my doppelganger.
No, mate. Have you got anything to add before we fly?
Not really. I don't have like an actual YouTube channel or anything yet, so I've just enjoyed being here and having another discussion about whatever comes up. So yeah, no, it was good. Good time.
Thanks for joining, Noah, mate. You are always welcome. LimeyPlay.
Thank you.
Yeah, check out the channel, youtube.com/LimeyPlay. As always, STST, or as you're affectionately known, it has been a pleasure to put up with your stream. No, it's always a fucking pleasure, mate. I love you to death. You're a legend, or a foot. You are a leg end. So yeah, no, it's been great. Tiny Captain, good to see you. Noah, always good to see you as well, young'un. That's about it. Thank you very much. And as soon as the stream ends, I'm going to fucking bed. Jesus Christ, it's 12:30. I'm old.
I'm just gonna literally just basically lay back and just go.
Yeah, just boom, and then that. See, I'm all right because I'm streaming. Well, I'm joining the stream from my bed. So all I've got to do is move the fucking Guinness and keel over.
Guys, thank you so much for joining. And like you say, LimeyPlay, mate, when me and you get together especially, it's just like a couple of lads chatting down the pub. Do you know what I mean? Having a couple of beers. And, I can't wait to meet you in person. And we're going to get a video together, do a live stream.
Drunk and get arrested, mate. It's going to be golden.
Yeah. Well, can you imagine that? We're the next Thompson and what's he called? Bloody Whitson.
Both our mugshots together for a thumbnail. Fucking golden.
Let's get a camper van and go on the Globe Earth tour and get a camper van together. Brilliant. Right, I'm going to end the stream. Noah, mate, thanks for joining. Tiny Captain, LimeyPlay. Everyone that joined earlier, I may forget some people, but Ranty, Jose, there was definitely more people than that. Andy, and I'm very sorry if I've forgotten who you are. I haven't forgotten. I've just forgotten who you are right now. Andy Hogan, you
Andy too.
Legend. Yeah. Real Cygnus legend. Amy, just keep being you. Keep being you. You're a wonderful woman. Just call me Avi.
Oh, fuck. I missed you.
Captain.
Avi.
Space
Fucking great to
Pitch.
see you.
Everyone. Charlie Pooh. There were so many. There were so many. Flat Turd. Martin
PhD.
H. Into him. Goodbye. I love you all. It's very late. It's very late. We're about to end.